Hello, chat, and welcome to another Little Bunchcast. Today, we're going to be covering a lot of breaking news, which I'll be saving for the middle of the stream because it's kind of huge, and so we can just warm up with some really funny shit. So, funny shit happened. A game got announced. It's called Horizon Hunter's Gathering or some shit, based in the Horizon universe, right? That setting that no one gives two shits about. Guerrilla Studios, which is the developers who made Killzone, have decided, in their infinite wisdom, to make a very out-of-touch game that I'm sure will be wonderfully dead on arrival. So let's just get right into the trailer, because it looks funny.
I want to turn on. So I want to know, by the way, Horizon like Zero Dawn or whatever the fuck they want to go adjective for the game titles. Their whole aesthetic was robot dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like they're just like, we got bored of robot dinosaurs. Let's do other shit.
So
now.
this looks like they're stealing art and assets from Dauntless.
Yeah, it does actually. It looks like a Dauntless.
That's, I think, the only thing that was close to resembles the original aesthetic, that robot right there.
Like, it's supposed to be robot dinosaurs. That's the whole meme of the franchise. The reason why people were interested in it to begin with. But it's just...
Oh, they're doing it with the punk text. It's never a good sign when a studio does that, by the way.
using the punk text.
It's the I'm gonna flop, release the video game. Every time this is done, by the way, they do this like punk text. It never does very well. Now, I'm very interested to see, not necessarily this game, because I have no intention of playing it, but see if it actually succeeds or fails, purely based on the fact that it just seems like it's one of those games that kind of, they lost sight of what their games were about and have just completely like gone one off the direction. Let's go to the next one.
What's funnier?
From the ashes of the old world came machines. Now they're getting deadlier
Yeah, they're getting deadlier
by the day.
by the day.
Grow hair.
By the
We
day.
have to fight back.
We're becoming Monster Hunty.
It's like they're trying to compete with Monster Hunter.
Team.
Well, at least they're not going for the
The last line.
DEI look for most of the characters.
Oh, you didn't see it? I don't think you're paying attention to those.
I mean, they're all diversity, right? I get it. But they're not like...
The
It
giant
really
ones.
is just Dauntless's art style, though. Holy
Greatest
shit.
hunters in the land.
They did, like, rip... Oh, my God. What the fuck? They just keep making the red-haired woman fatter. She's even... Never mind.
Like, people criticize them, and they're just like, fine, triple down.
Fine. Triple the fucking
Given this
cheeseburger
studio,
budget.
This
Yeah,
studio
triple per
wanting
calorie
to
intake.
push- Given the studio's history wanting to push woke stuff, I can't help but notice the really skinny girl there has lots of pink and teal and white.
Yeah. Probably reflective of, like, a game developer or something. Okay, let's see.
Which
We do
yeah.
we got a couple of them there white bigots. We got one of them there native boys.
So we got-
One of them there blackies.
So Reguline, you would
They're
know best.
black.
Which of these characters is
One of
probably
them
gay?
All of them.
Two of them there are women's. Listen, if we're gonna play the part, we gotta play the part, my dudes. Hippohegemony donates $5 and says, "Hello, Kibs and fellow denizens of the bucket. I'm in the Philippines while at the gym. I had to remind one of them who colonized who. It's like, we're gonna take the Philippines back. Philippines. 9 times out of 10, they'll just marry a white dude. Next.
Hunters gathering.
Oh, dude. Yep, that art style. Look at that fucking style. Look at that text. That text screams, doesn't it? It's like, we are punk. Like, is that... now, I've never played these games, but I have always seen them, and they never had, like, this punk look to them, you know? Where,
They
like,
didn't. This is new.
Okay, so they've decided it's time to end the studio. Gotcha.
Because the original text where it says Horizon is closer to what their original font was like at the top.
Yeah,
It's like the
that
really, really tiny text. Yeah, the Horizon.
Horizo. Right. The end's gone. Because I
I
ended
don't
it
think it
for
was finished
Yeah,
writing
no, I
it
know. I
when you
just fucking with
paused.
it. Horizo. Squad up in 3-player teams. Or 3-player teams. Okay, so it's 3-player. Again, a weird obsession with like the 3-player thing. It seems to be like a commonality with games like this. I have no idea, and I hate Destiny. I honestly blame Destiny for popularizing this.
I'm pretty sure, and then this is a conspiracy theory, mind you, that it's designed around the Twitch streaming meta,
And Twitch
where Twitch
streaming is
streamers will
3.
exactly have like 2 co-hosts. They'll bring them along.
It's the meta. Yeah, it's probably... You might be entirely correct on that, if I had to wager a guess. Let's see. With friends alongside NPCs against a deadly threat. I mean, at least they're smart here. So one thing that this game has going for it right now is that while they are being a little woke with like making the morbidly obese woman, but at least they have the fundamental understanding of like, okay, we're gonna make a multiplayer game. Like, let's not get into PvP because PvP is a bad market to get into. It is. And let's not beat around the bush, Chatfish. If it's an established PvP game, it'll do all right. If it's not established, it's basically fucked. Like, it's going to have a multiplayer base of like 1,000 people and then die after a week. So, good choice on PvE. That will at least make sure it will stay alive longer. Hopefully, they're smart enough to have NPC allies. Otherwise, you're going to be a little boned. Hunt lethal machines together. Face off against challenging, lethal machines with a variety of attacks and elements FX in high-intensity missions across different environments and landscapes. Interesting. So, yeah, it sounds a little bit like Monster Hunter, doesn't it?
Yes, that's the assumption that they're cloning Monster Hunter.
Now, the thing is, while they are ripping off other people's ideas, what's interesting about this, though, is that they might actually succeed. Maybe. It depends on their execution, right? They would the potential they have for success here is entirely dependent on the failings of Monster Hunter. If Monster Hunter continues to fail, which it has, because what is Monster Hunter currently doing yet? It's not
So
doing
let me
well.
check.
It's not doing well.
No, Monster Hunter on PC is doing poorly.
It's doing bad. It's doing bad.
Let me see. Wild
It's still
sales,
very,
I think.
very popular though. So they're trying to get into the monster fighting business.
Okay, so Monster Hunter Wild sold 10 million copies the first month,
Which is
and
very good.
later reached 11 million in total sales in early 2026.
But the PC market, it's not doing particularly well on. It's standing at mixed, but even if you're standing at mixed and your recent review says 2.4K, that still says, well,
So
yeah, you
it
may not be
It's
was
well
actually gone
received.
up, mind
it was
you.
it was at mostly negative for the longest time.
It's currently
because
trending
it
wise,
ran
though.
so fucking
Yeah, I
poorly.
know. Trending wise, it's going down. And the big thing here is that despite not performing particularly well in metrics in terms of people how people feel about the game, it's still selling like hotcakes even today, right now. So I don't know if they can get into that market because that's what this game is going to try to do. And one of the big things, because I know a lot of people who play these kinds of games, and I know them pretty well, is that they like character customization. And character customization plays a pivotal role in why they play these games. This game doesn't appear to have any character customization because it has prescribed hero-style characters, which means that it will actually suffer because of this. Because some games, if they don't have character customization, it's a big deal for a huge slew of people. And what really makes Monster Hunter lends its strength is that they lean into the character customization system. So, yeah. And it looks like each character kind of has like, or quote unquote hunter has different like play styles and abilities. So it will kind of limit its replay value because customization is key in long-term replay, and especially if you're going for a multiplayer game, you want to have high levels of replay value to make sure people keep playing it. The issue is when you have prescribed characters, like it's going to have an issue, right? Like, let's compare Left 4 Dead real quickly. Left 4 Dead has 4 characters, but while the characters have unique personalities and personas, they aren't actually particularly, what's the word? They're not unique.
Unique.
They just have dialogue that's unique to the characters. They have no unique abilities, and you can play them interchangeably, and the doesn't really matter because you can pick up an assault rifle, you can pick up a shotgun, it doesn't really matter, right? So it has a great deal of replay value. Vermintide has scripted characters, which limits its replay value a little bit because people might not want to do the whole character thing, and I've seen that be a reason for turnoff. But some people like that, so it's a bit of hit or miss. Hold on.
At the very least, with like Vermintide and like Fat Shark games, when they do their pre-designed characters, there's typically a variety of ways you can play that character. Like it's a class, but there's subclasses beneath that allows for some variety.
Now, the overall art style I think they've chosen, though, while they have kind of ripped the style from other things, I don't think it's actually bad. Like the environmentals
no.
actually are
It's not.
the environmentals here actually look really good.
S-
On a serious
So
note,
basically,
we're making fun of the fat
what
woman.
it looks.
Making fun of-
Yeah. I want to point out, I've seen other trailers around that really focus on her, and I couldn't help but notice in these trailers she doesn't show up much at all,
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
and it's
isn't it?
very short bits. It's like I think they realized people are mocking them for that, and they wanted to cut it down. a
I
little.
mean, that is smart to repivot your advertisement to stuff people give a damn about. Because,
yeah.
all I had seen previously and was when I joined this room was fucking Chumpus cackling about Fat Woman and them making fat jokes. So, yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like,
Yeah, here's a good question. Who
three
do you think's-
screenshots to the left of where you, or two to the right.
this one,
That's one to the right. One more.
Piggy.
Yeah, I have distinct feeling about that skinny character.
The color palette choice, though, is very punk. Like the blues and pinks there.
Well,
Neon
Gibbs,
blue.
these kind of people, there's a very distinct signifier with the colors
Yeah,
white,
Got the bow.
teal, and pink.
Yeah, it's even layered on there. And then the other guy's got his pants and his little scarfings are blue.
Which is
They're color
the
coded.
trans.
Oh, no.
That's that color scheme.
Do you think the reason for the
It's the
color
trans
scheme
flag.
is that they're all trans?
I think she's going to be, absolutely.
You think so?
Or is at least
Are you sure?
inspired by maybe a trans like.
Now,
like,
I guarantee you,
developer,
we could
whatever.
probably prove or disprove that really quickly. Check the website. They'll probably have a character bio about it. I don't know if they go that far. She looks very woman.
Fucking phrasing. She looks very woman.
Like very
You see,
female.
that's the thing. She'll just identify as non-binary. Or
I
something,
may be a
Gibbs.
woman and dress like a woman, but I am a man. It's like, what? What the fuck? I think you're going going off ahead here. You're charging off here. You're a little bit crazy.
Potentially, but I'm just basing on this
Just-
studio's past history and how that community really, really has an obsession with those three colors.
Huh. Well, I was going to point out that this studio has a history of just being kind of out of touch with their fandom forever. So let's talk briefly about the studio's history and why they're not very good at their job. So Guerrilla Games, or whatever the fuck their name is, produced Killzone 1, which is the most notable title of their entire series. More notable than Horizon. Horizon's kind of, it has no cultural impact. Killzone actually has cultural impact. Killzone was pretty interesting, ambitious for the first game. Really cool ideas. Then they backpedaled after that in Killzone 2 and made it more Call of Duty-esque, which is a bit of a disappointment, but the style and art was really good. But they really do some really stupid stuff, and they don't really understand their story because they're just really bad story writers. I don't know if their writing team is different from how it was then, but like with the way they had like Ramirez or whatever the fucking guy's name is, Vasquez or whatever, kill fucking Vasari or whatever, it was so lame. It was like, oh my god, like this is the lame arc. And then the third game
So-
story was like, I'm Stahl and I'm, evil and I look like Bucky in real life. Yeah.
So what I find funny about Killzone, right, is that they do everything in their power to make you sympathize with the Hellgast.
And they get
And
mad
then
at you.
and then make the Hellgast into Nazis.
Yeah, they're like, sympathize with them.
It's like, so you're telling me they had their homeworld taken? Uh-huh. And then they were exiled to this really shitty planet? Uh-huh. And they weren't given any support? Uh-huh. Wow, they sound like the people you should be rooting for. And then they use chemical weapons. God damn it.
But they're bad and they're mean. It's like, okay, like they are bad and they are mean. See, what's weird about them is that they got mad about people liking the Helligans. And then they
The issue is it's a
backpedaled.
cool aesthetic. Yeah, the issue is it's a cool aesthetic. It's the same reason. Like, I'm not talking like political beliefs, but it's like aesthetically. Like, Germany, World War II. looked
I
cool.
mean, this happens with a lot of creators where they're like, you're not supposed to root for them. Like, what was it, Solid Snake from Metal Gear, like, or Snake or whatever. You're not supposed to root for him, or you're not supposed to be like, emphasizing like him
Not
as a
supposed to
hero.
think he's cool, I guess.
Yes, and it's like, well, like you're just out of
It's like
touch.
he smokes, man. Smoking's bad.
He does
Makes
all these,
smoking look really fucking cool.
makes it look cool, and makes a cool character. Because apparently, like, I believe it was the same with that studio as well. Because Kojima was like, no, people weren't supposed to look at him as a hero. Because later on, they tried a character like make him not
No,
be the hero.
okay. Blake's saying that was in reference specifically
Naked
to
Snake, Solid Snake is
Naked
the
Snake,
good
who would
guy.
become Big Boss.
Naked Snake, Big Boss is the bad guy. The bad guy. Nerd.
Also, Rifford gifts a membership. It says hand choice.
Hands.
And
Thank
I'm
you for
assuming
the
Cookie,
membership.
because he
Very
always does
generous.
Cookie.
Did we get Genghis's donation?
We did not, I think.
Yeah, Genghis tries to say happy weekend, every Nyan, because he's a weeb. Is Kibbs going to talk about the new Minecraft DLC? No. But if you want, put in the Bickering Bunch discussions, because I didn't even hear about that. Clams, Fembervaria, and Sour. Thank you for the donation. Bucky's not active enough for us to use Sour anymore. We'll be removing it as a hashtag if he doesn't show up more frequently. I think that's what we'll do. Yes, Chad, I have that power. Arbitrary decisions are made here every day. Look at
If
him.
Bucky would like to disagree, he can say so now.
He's silent and weak.
I think that Kibbs will deserve punishment.
He's like, I'm doxing Kibbs and also sending a cruise
So I
missile to his
think-
house.
I know the Minecraft thing he's referring to, and it is extremely political.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that thing.
Regardless, it is gaming. It does need to be discussed because
Okay.
it is part of gaming culture, and we should be criticizing it. Now, the big thing is that wrapping up with this game, it's really just.
So here's the worst part, I think. Like, what you mentioned about character customization, yeah, that is gonna... People playing these things, they want to make customized characters. They don't just want to play
She
a
clearly has
class.
tits, by the way. Like, clearly
That doesn't matter to these people. To
They will
ideologically
make
captured people.
They will make a character that is obviously a dude or a chick, and then say they're the opposite.
Regardless. I was one of the people that when Dauntless first launched, I actually really liked it, and then they, drove that into the ground. So there is definitely potential for this style of game to do well. I don't think that the studio has any capacity to do it well, though.
Yeah, because there is openings in the Monster Hunter scene, I think, for the Monster Hunter style games with multiplayer.
Okay, so
Because that's what this is literally
There-
trying to get into.
there are a couple of clones that I know of off the top of my head.
All right, listen. Okay, let me help you squeal real quickly. So as
And
me,
they're not very good.
me as a kid who knows only about Monster Hunter, if I don't know about these clones, it's very bad. But I can tell you almost with
So-
with like assured like about Call of Duty clones, and I don't even like Call of Duty
Yeah.
because they're so prominent.
I'm just saying, every game that's tried to do Monster Hunter has failed dramatically.
That's because they're trying to just copy Monster Hunter instead of actually making their own thing.
So this
Yes.
game,
Yeah, but like the
Bino,
other
your-
games didn't
Bino,
have
shut-
a
Bino,
mag-
shush! Your mic is bad. Get your mic fixed.
He's on
okay.
his phone, dumbass.
Damn.
Get on
Yes.
your PC,
Get your
dipshit.
PC, dipshit.
Damn.
Damn. Beam. Microphone bad. Bino bad. Everyone in chat, Bino bad. All right. So, I don't know. I
So,
smell
for this
ickiness
game-
in this game.
I have extremely low expectations. I personally hope I am wrong and my predictions are incorrect and it actually is a good game. I don't think it will be. I have zero faith that it'll be good, but hopefully it will be.
Yeah, I would not hold your
You can
breath.
always hope.
It would. Let's put it this way: if there are games that it's like, oh, I want to try that now, I would like. If you're a fan of Horizon, just from looking at it, I would wait a little bit, just to see what happens, because like, the fact that it's tied to a multiplayer component as its core crux and doesn't really make mention of any single player functionality, leads me to suspect that this game is a limited lifespan. Because until we find out more, like, okay, like there's NPC companions if there's nobody around, and stuff like that. And yeah, if you're gonna get it to play with friends, obviously, right? Like the only reason why you should probably be picking this game up is probably for its cooperative function, because it's literally its front page and center. It's a co-op game first and foremost.
Play with your friends. There's nothing
So the
else of
thing
value.
Chad had said,
Oh.
which let me scroll up see who said it. Credit where it's due. Metal Dragon. This is only one of 2 games they're working on, the other one being Horizon Steel Frontiers, which is meant to be a cross-platform mobile and PC MMORPG in the Horizon universe.
How about killing a franchise? Fucking Christ.
I don't know, man. Like Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever, like I looked at the first game, like, I might try that. And then like they made the update or patch or a sequel or remaster or whatever,
Who's
where she
sequel?
became like fat and like ugly looking, and I'm like,
And no one talked about it.
and so I literally what I did instead is as I closed that thought up, flushed it down the toilet, and moved on with my life. And I'm only talking about this now because you guys brought this shit up. Like I
See,
saw
the
the trailer.
Horizon Zero
I'll be
Dawn.
real with you, chat. I saw the trailer with fat chick on it again, and I'm like, she's even fatter now. And I'm like, all right, nope, not interested. Like they just doubled her weight. Like, is it the same character or is it a different character? Because if it's the same character, it'd be incredibly funny.
But Kibbs, okay, hold on. But imagine the next game they do, imagine how fat she'd be.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
Shut the roll.
Horizon Zero Dawn is actually pretty successful itself. Its sequel was not half as successful, but was still did well enough. And I don't know anything about the future games though.
So the big issue with the open world sandbox formula is that on paper they sound really fun, right? Like Mercenaries looks like a fun game. Like so does all those games, like Shadow Mort or whatever. But usually the big issue with those games is that usually over time the sales pitter patter out because making open world games is actually relatively hard and very expensive. Now I think in the case of Shadow of War, there's a lot of drama there because of the whole fucking microtransaction shit. But then they later patched it out. But people kind of memory hold the fact that, well, by then, the damage is already done kind of situation. Can you kill a franchise that was stillborn, says Sinestro? Fuck. Yes. Watch me.
People liked the first game.
Yep. First game had a very large following.
I'm not gonna lie, I remember the story for the first game. It was dumb.
Didn't say it was a good story.
I don't think anyone played it for the story.
Okay, like,
It was
Hans,
extremely dumb.
just tell me the story. Like, what happened?
So the big TLDR is there was a Grey Goose scenario, and so everyone had to go into these vaults, and that's where the humans came up, and all the robots you see are actually terraforming the planet. But there was one AI, because there was like 6 or 7 AI that are in control of the entire system. One of them was meant to purge the rest of the system, and so at the very end, you're fighting basically one of the old like pre-fall like war bots, and one of your guys that you work with basically steals the AI, and it's alluding to that he's going to come back later because the AI was taken away by this one dude that wants to learn about the old world. That's pretty much the big TLDR.
I don't care. But thank you
I
for
know,
sharing.
it was bad.
Thank you for sharing.
It's more of a thinly veiled excuse to have robot dinosaurs.
Yeah, because like the plot's very like I was thinking that the plot would like suck me in a little bit, but like I'm just like
No, it wouldn't.
My
It
feelings after hearing that is like I don't care. But yeah, so that as much as so my suspicions about the game's like narrative impact, cultural relevance is correct. Then it has none because I hear nobody ever talk about it, and that sounds like a very sterile B plot, like sort of game. Like it's just not very interesting. All right, so moving on because I don't want to talk about fat people anymore, but this art piece is funny. Research shows that 69% of female
cute.
gamers feel underrepresented in video games and wish more characters look like real women. This art is pretty goddamn good.
The only thing is they
He
should
does
have
some good
shown.
art.
Oh no, they do. What they should have shown is that it's not really that big a cliff, and at the bottom she has full energy, and like halfway up she's down to like 10%. That's what they should have done.
God damn. That's pretty funny. Next, we have Menace. Now, I'm not going to talk about this too much because we've been streaming lately, but in case you missed the streams, the Menace game is very, 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 very good. It is probably the best strategy game so far this year, and honestly, like for as far as tactics, I don't think anyone's gonna beat it. There might be other strategy games that come out that might be good this year, but damn, it's gonna be an uphill battle. It's gonna have to be a different category.
Here's what I'm going to say, though. I think that's true, but I think it's also just the case that, generally speaking, like squad tactics games aren't usually ones that people
They're
make that often.
incredibly rare as is, so that's why I'm kind of saying like this is squad based
Yeah,
tactics
no,
game of the year.
if you like squad tactics, like this is going to be the game to get.
Not only is it probably going to be the game to get, but this market is very very gone, if that makes sense. So if you want a game like this, this is probably your one opportunity to get it. It is an early access, so be forewarned. It is an early access, but there is a 25% discount for the early launch for until
And
February
even
19th.
then, like, let's just say there wasn't a sale right now. Go back down and look at the price.
It's $25. It'll
No,
only be
no,
40. Yeah, they're
yeah, like,
charging. So the big thing here is that they're charging a realistic price. Much like I've
Yeah.
always said, Chatfish, video games should not be 50. They should not be 60. They should not be 70 or 80. They should be probably, no, they shouldn't be really 50. But they should be like $40. And you can see with the slash mark that this game will actually be $40. This is the price point that I think all video games should be and always should have been. And it's got the quality to boot for it. And it doesn't use like AI art, doesn't use AI slop. It's handcrafted, beautiful illustration work, and some very unfinished illustrations because it's a work in progress, obviously. But
Those are the best illustrations.
Yeah.
but this is what I'm talking
And
about.
then
AI slop will never ever replace video games like this because games that are crafted with such fidelity like this, overhyped studios, like they get praises for this because oh my god, did they go above and beyond with this game? Like damn, they really smacked it out of the ballpark.
and they also managed to snag like a really talented animator for their CG.
Chad says 40 is for early access is still too much.
Don't care.
All right, now it's not 40.
It's not 40, but at the same time, it will be 40 after the February 19th sale. But the reality is that I don't particularly care if the quality of the game is good enough, if that makes sense. Now, it's obviously that's going to be a point of debate between people, but after playing this game for, I don't know, how many hours have I have in it?
And you can scroll down and see.
You know, I have about 19.1 hours in it. Oh my god, is this an amazing experience. For $40, I feel like I bought a AAA game with some weird little bugs, but as far as I'm concerned, it's more polished, it's better quality than most AAA games at 70 or $80. And it's in an early access state. To me, that just speaks volumes about the quality of this studio and the game itself. It is peak. And to say otherwise would be a lie. But yeah, great vehicle combat, great infantry combat, lots of customization. It feels kind of like XCOM to a degree, but more squad focused. So that's the big difference. With a very dark and brutal sort of aesthetic, and because the studio is the guys that made Battle Brothers, it feels like the studio has gone in a really, really good direction here. Like they've really maintained that dark spirit. Like how do I explain this? If you want to see like an Aliens game or that style of 1980s cassette retrofuturism that Shmormu talked about, this is that game. Not only is this that game, but like it encapsulates the U.S. Marines vibe so perfectly. I can't even. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And it's not like a propaganda game where it's like telling you Marines are bad or military is bad.
Literally, when you start the game, it's like you get into the system the way back, and it's like, okay, the entire command staff died. The ship is practically falling apart. Good luck.
Good luck, yeah, because the general got like vented out into space or something.
No, it wasn't just the general; it was entire command staff.
Yeah,
And then that guy's like, "Yes, you've suffered, but I had to spend political capital, so like, maybe you almost spent lost as much as I did."
Yeah, to get them to go there. Oh, you're talking about the Jingwei planetary governor dude.
General.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually really cool, and it's got a very interesting setting and world. So they actually did a lot of world building here. Like, for example, there's unique music for each of the factions, which really encapsulates their feelings. For the pirates, the bugs, the menace faction, the government rogue militaries and stuff like that. And it really is probably... It might be... I don't know. It might be Game of the Year. It's that good. Like, unless something else comes out this year that, like, can hold a candle to this, I don't know. I was genuinely blown away by how good this game was.
Project Zomboid goes full release with like
That
2 major updates.
that would be a very goddamn good argument there. But like, I don't know, man. It's gonna be hard to fucking beat this game. Realistically, not likely, but not impossible. I hope that other games come out of this quality and caliber, because this is
I mean, I'm quite excited for
insanely
Massive
good.
Singularity 2.
They say
Yeah.
asses of
Okay.
Singularity.
Ash of Singularity 2 is gonna be cute, but it's not gonna hold a candle to this. And I think to say so otherwise would be a outright, insult. Because like realistically, no game is gonna compare to this. Like it's not gonna. It's over, chat. I like this game so much. I don't think there's gonna be a single game that's gonna hold a candle to this. It's over.
You hear that, Chad? This is Kib's new Helldivers.
This is menace diving. So goddamn good.
Menace diving.
We're gonna menace. I'm gonna menace. I'm gonna menace.
Look, there goes Kibs into the menace goop.
He's menacing. He's menacing. Okay.
I can't help it. I've menaced all over the place.
But yeah, so it's also going to really be dependent. So, by the way, the game is slated for release this year. There is planned to be a Steam Workshop from the FAQ, as confirmed by Chumpachu. So there's going to be mod support. It's slated for this year. They said that if things turn out that people aren't happy with the way the game is when they get to the end, they'll extend it and add more thingies. And based on the fact that how Battle Brothers worked out, they did a lot of DLC for that and expansions that added a pretty
They
substantial
were
amount of
proper
content.
expansions, not just
Yeah,
here's a new unit. It was like, okay, here's an entire new faction, an entire new scenario,
and new play
and a
styles
bunch of
and stuff,
mechanics
yeah.
slapped on top.
So
Violence.
if Battle Brothers is going to be any sort of note to go off of, this is a worthwhile investment. Now again, it's worth saying that it's early access, but the 4 factions in are distinctly unique. Bugs are exactly as you expect them. Charge a lot, they spit goop at you, and they're very melee and aggressive and up in your face. Pirates are just this ragtag band of little annoying twats, and they got a lot of dudes, but they're not too scary. The military, oh my god, fucking help me. The military is scary. Like they got mortars, they got HMGs, they got officers blowing whistles at me all the time. They got tanks. Tanks are terrifying. I've never been more scared in my life than when we saw a tank. And then the 4th final faction, which we've encountered, which we've only done a few operations against, which is the Menace. They're pretty goddamn evil. Like, they're nasty little shits. Think of the Terminators combined with the Borg, and that's what gives you the Menace, pretty much. But yeah, they're pretty goddamn good. Pretty goddamn good. No, not sponsored. They didn't give me early access or nothing. They give it to everybody under the sun but Kib. And honestly, I don't really care about that. I'm more interested in the fact that the game is good. And so I'm going to sing praises for the game because I think the game is awesome. Definitely one of my favorite video games of the year. So far, for sure. The Pirates of the Remnants of Reddit forced from their keyboards. Yes. One criticism I have to level, though, is the dialogue. Thank you for reminding me that. My only real major criticism, besides like some of the weird things when shooting through buildings that looks kind of weird, is the fucking pirate dialogue. It's like in the future, every Redditor becomes a space pirate, and that's just their dialogue.
Yeah, like the entire pirate vibe is just like sarcasm. It's just like, we didn't mean to shoot you.
The
That type of
Marines,
stuff.
your guys, their dialogue between each other and the callouts for the factions you fight is really good. They've got a lot of personality and flair, and you care about your boys. The fighting the government dudes sound cool. Sounds like while their visual aesthetic is very much like 1980s like Marine style. They have a little bit of that British flair. They almost sound like you're fighting like the Royal Marines or something. Kind of weird. But yeah, they go, oh bloody hell, I'm British. Tactics. They made fun of my tactics in the game. That's true. But yeah, this game deserves high praises, and I'm going to sing them because it deserves them, and it's a good game. It is a tactics game, so it's a niche. So if you don't like turn-based tactics games, you probably still won't like this game because it's fundamentally not that kind of game. It's a tactics game. You have to have a brain, and you have to have, some sort of intelligence. So, Bucky, that rules you out. He's like,
I know, unfortunately.
you are so boring.
Unlucky.
Only plays Call of Duty. Look at him. Bucky, you have to be teased once in a while. You can't just not be teased. So, welcome to Chatcraft. How do you feel about Chatcraft, Bucky?
I have no idea what that is.
It isn't anything. How do you feel about World of Warcraft in its current state?
It sucks ass.
Why would you say that? Explain
because
it.
World of Warcraft sucks ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really, how do you feel about World of Warcraft in its current state?
The story's fucking terrible, but the gameplay's pretty nice.
Story's fucking. Okay, you succinctly described it, yeah, pretty much. Story's fucking ass, pretty much. But this is really, really funny. So, lately, for whatever reason, the marketing team at Blizzard has decided in their infinite wisdom, let's make house trailers. Let's make another house trailer. Let's make a house trailer. We're adding houses to the game finally. This is something, by the way, for those who don't know, they promised they'd have player housing ages ago. Decades ago. They're finally adding player housing now. However, I just don't care. I don't think I cared back then all that much, and I don't think I care particularly now. Mostly because player housing just doesn't really add any gameplay mechanics. It's just kind of like this doodad. And it's like, this is the crux of their latest expansion, like, housing. You can have a house. And it's like, I don't really care right now. Like,
Don't you like houses? I like houses.
not really. Like, I just don't really care. And I mean, it's nice for the people who care, but like, the fact that they're doing so much marketing for it leads me to suspect that they have no idea what World of Warcraft is about anymore. And so they're just not even talking about it. Like, fuck, I don't know, man. It's housing something. Sir, what about the Warcraft? Like, where's the war? It's like, housing market collapse. Like, unless the next expansion is going to be 2008 housing market collapse, edition.
I like that one.
It's like, don't you just get evicted from your own house? Yeah, I guess. Foreclosed.
There's the expansion where the Alliance makes good on like butchering the Horde.
Housing.
Never.
WoW Classic.
WoW Classic.
So what is this? all mean?
BlizzCon. What does this all mean, Chet? Nothing.
This is going to be one for the ages.
Lies. Kill him. Kill him. A world broken by
Warcraft?
war. Reunited by you. Big titty women. My God. Big titty women. Guys, please buy BlizzCon tickets, guys.
They never will. They don't want to no more.
And bring harmony.
Soy locks, look at them.
Hey, Joe Nixia, you remember Classic well.
This fight is far.
That right there is white material.
And Azeroth
He's
needs
like, what?
now more than ever.
Nice fucking chair.
Nice fucking model.
Former Ghost Cringe.
Whatever's coming, I'll stand with you.
The word Warcraft is too harsh. So yeah, basically they're gonna talk about things like housing and basically doing stuff with the Delve system. They have this middle management woman who is catching a shit ton of flack. By the way, I think it's her, if I remember right. Yeah, because it's only a third of the way down, honestly, at 10K dislikes. People seem to like it, but the CEO doesn't even play the game. Blizzard is cooked. Where's Metzen? I need to tell him something. Oh,
Was
my
it this
God.
video or was it a different video where one of the developers of WoW was questioning why they called it Warcraft and they shouldn't have called it Warcraft because it
Oh,
was Warcraft implies conflict and is
I've never
potentially
heard of
harmful.
that, but if that actually happened, that's fucking hilarious. Because, okay, so now let's understand this, chat. Chumpus, double check. When did Warcraft 1 release? What year? Squealy, quit tapping your desk.
Warcraft. I'm not tapping my desk.
Oh, you're like, Dave. Okay.
Warcraft 1, 1994.
1994. Fuck, I was born that year. Jesus Christ. But it's 31 years old. Or no, 30 years old. How old am I? How old am I?
Kibbs, what year is it?
Forgets very easily how he was
2026. What does that mean?
means he can use a calculator to
What's
determine
that
your
mean?
age.
What's that mean? What's that mean? Jeff is like looking at me like, bro. But yeah, it's 30 years old, right? It's ancient. It's an old video
32
game.
years old.
It's 32 years old?
Yes.
Am I 32?
No, you just can't count.
Fuck. No, you're lying to me. Shut up. I may have not been good at math because I learned Common Core, chat. All right? You
He'll
can't
be
make fun of
32
me.
this year.
Oh, it's over for me, chat. I didn't even know I was that old. Ancient. I'm a
Damn, you know you're
venerable
getting old when you
dreadnought.
stop counting.
All right, chat. So Withered Kib is now going to tell you things. Holy crap! I'm as old as this fucking franchise. Holy crap! Holy crap! This franchise is like the same age as me. All right, so that's nuts, by the way. So that's 32 fucking years. It's going to be 32 as well this year as well for this game. So that's nuts to think about. 32 years old. That's how old Warcraft is. That means that most people who made it, who are in their 30s, are 60 now. If they were in their 20s, they're in their 50s now. If they were, yeah, because they're not going to be in their 10s when they were working on this game. So the 20-year-old and 30-year-olds working on this game, Warcraft 1, when it was around, they're 60 to 50 years old right now. That's insane. That's insane. 60 years old. That's how old the people who made this game are, probably, in that ballpark. That's insane to think about. So most of them are old, retired, and dead. Sad, but it's true. So that means they're literally not here anymore. Oh my God, that's nuts. That makes me sad. All right, so what's sad about that is that, yeah, the people who don't understand, okay, so here's the big problem. What that tells us is a few big issues with the studio. The first issue is that when somebody joins the studio, they're not learning anything about the studio's legacy at all. That statue behind this woman, I bet you she barely knows anything about it. Like, that statue is a very beautiful, like, steel statue. But, like, it's one of those things where it's like most people that work there know nothing about it, know nothing about the studio's philosophy, know nothing about, like, the principles of the studio whatsoever, or Blizzard. They probably don't even know what Warcraft 1 is. They probably don't even know, they only know what Warcraft 3 is because, oh yeah, the Warcraft 3, it's like the weird strategy game thing that we got a flack for making. That's probably what they know. They probably know very little about their own IPs. Like, Warcraft is like, I don't know, it's about, like, it's like a StarCraft thing. It's like, oh my God, they probably don't know. That's nuts. All right, so the big thing there is that, yeah, this is a failing on their studio. People on the team need to be educated. You need to learn what games they're producing. Not only should they learn, but they should also be mandated. It is their job. They should be mandated to at least look into each game's development history. I don't have to play it, but they should be encouraged to. Like, you should play Warcraft 1 to see how bad it is. You should play Warcraft 2. You should play Warcraft 3. You should have to play these games. You should, in order to work on World of Warcraft, you should have to play Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, in my opinion. I think if you want to work on World of Warcraft, you have to beat all three. That seems more than reasonable. You should have to beat it. Like, you can't even enter the studio until you beat all three games. And you can, like, be quizzed on the games you played. Because they need to quiz people. You know why? Because you can't let somebody work on something that they have no idea what it's about. It's like asking an engineer, like, oh yeah, let's make a car. It's like, what's a car? Like, what's wheels? I don't know. Like, what's the history of cars? I don't know. They go beep. It's like, what? No. 94 would be 31. Okay, yeah. So my entire team doesn't even know anything about 8 years. Chatfish is smarter than you. Oh no.
He'll be 32 this year.
Okay, never mind.
Says
That's what
Yeah.
Chumpa said. All right, Ghost is.
Yeah, just going off the year number, then yeah, it would be.
My God. But yeah. My God, chat. My God. It's nuts to think about, isn't it, chat? How old this game is. That's
Not
insane.
really. It's pretty old.
It's an old video game. Not many franchises
No.
actually last this long. Okay, start naming some.
Star Trek,
No, wrong.
Stargate.
Nope.
Stargate, yeah.
Nope. Name video game
Stargate's coming back,
franchises.
Doom,
Uh,
Age
Okay.
of Empires.
keep going.
Technically, he has you there.
He does. He has me to a degree, but those franchises.
RuneScape.
But he also doesn't, because those franchises actually died for like several years. Name an
RuneScape.
uncontested franchise that's continuing to run. Not you, but
Let's
Jumpus.
see.
Because Age of Empires also died. So technically, neither of those are applicable.
Second Life.
Video game franchises.
SimCity.
Second Life. So that's one of your examples.
SimCity.
He's really grasping at straws here, my dudes.
SimCity, Kibs.
30 has lasted 32 years.
SimCity's been around for a very
SimCity's
long
dead.
time. They still release games.
No, they don't. He doesn't know.
SimCity came out. The first SimCity was 1989.
The last game,
Kevin says,
the
no, this
last
one's fair.
SimCity
Kevin
game
says Zelda.
was like 2012. It's been dead for over a decade.
2014.
See,
Kind of a little
Chatfish
spin-off.
are knowing stuff. Quake is dead. That's not true. StarCraft, yes. But they also haven't really done anything with it, so maybe no, actually.
Well,
Metroid.
Sims and
Dragon
SimCity's
Quest, the
same
Sims,
franchise.
yes. Sims and SimCity are not the same thing. They're
Yeah.
related, but they're two separate franchises. SimCity is dead.
That's like saying Stargate and Stargate Atlantis are two different franchises.
No, it isn't. SimCity is a city builder. Sims game is a life sim game.
Yeah, no, in terms of like genre,
They are
different
completely
things.
different creatures. It's like saying Sid Meier's Civilization is like SimCity. It's like, what? Get out of here, you little squirrel creatures. Oh my god.
There's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's quite a few of them that have been around since the 90s.
They have. But the thing is, you don't know about none of them, do you? Because you have to Google them. I already hear you clacking away.
No, there's another.
So we're moving on because he
Keep
took
talking.
too long. But yeah, so the big thing about Warcraft is it's been in the situation where nobody here who works at this studio knows anything about this game whatsoever. Like, nobody knows. Like, this woman, I don't even know if she's ever played a video game in her life. Has she? I don't even know who she is. What do you think, Chumpus?
Could you repeat that? I was looking up old games.
Fuck.
Yeah, GTA is also
They're
one.
all autistic. Oh my god.
You.
The point sails right past their eyes, like, huh?
Oh.
Old video game time to look up.
Yeah, my
time
God.
to
Yeah,
research.
GTA is like a 30-year-old
Oh,
franchise.
yeah, GTA is old.
Yeah,
as
but
hell.
it goes an entire periods of 10 years with no content. So
Then they have content updates throughout the
You can
series.
explore the WoW base game for free, up to level 80, including all level up.
Well, okay,
content,
that's different. Hold
pre-launch
up.
event, especially reputation. We think this is another great way to get caught up ahead of midnight, whether it's leveling an alt to join the fray or fast tracking some of those rep-based decor items that you've been chasing. And as part of this celebration of midnight, we are granting a special limited time Dark Portal
Look,
decor item.
I
to
remember
every
Buddy
player with an
Crusade
active WoW
Squealy.
subscription who
I
logs
remember
in
too.
now
I
and
remember
unlocks the expansion.
Dark Portal. Dark Portal,
Finally,
cool.
welcome back weekend.
Looks like a
also
Minecraft
starts today.
world.
If you're not currently subscribed to WoW, but you've had a subscription in the past, from now until February 1st,
It's
you
Hytale
can
now,
explore
actually.
the WoW base game for free, up to level 80, including all level up content, pre-launch events, the recent system updates I've been talking about, a completely overhauled returning player experience, and more than 20 years of Azeroth's world and story. We are so excited about Midnight and all that's been going on with WoW, and we really want to make sure that we're making it easy for you to come check it all out.
I get why they're doing that, though. So you see why they're doing that, right? They're trying to entice people to come back, which is more than reasonable because they've lost so many people over the years. Also,
Please come
massive bleed there, Bucky. What are you wiggling?
Yes, background noise, Artemis.
Your fan. I wonder what that is. Bucky, are you wiggling? He's got his shaky legs. He's got ADHD, just like me. We're not so different, you and I.
Oh, I have the thing. He tagged
What?
Reguline with it.
Is it there
I know.
now?
Your mic's boosted now.
Weird. I'll check the settings.
I don't want to grab what Moogie posted, but
Then don't, if it's bad.
Yes, this isn't Fireside.
Yeah, no. Only shit that matters.
about games.
So yeah, as far as like we've been checking out the retail stuff, like there are notable improvements gameplay wise, but the big fundamental issue, and this seems to be like a reoccurring issue with like the overall World of Warcraft thing, at least from my experience, is that while the game seems to be making slight strides and improvements, it's also kind of making a mistake in several areas of the, what do you call it, like narrative direction. It just doesn't really know what it is anymore. Leadership is having like weird choices. Like there's a big, huge push in the player housing thing, which is a weird choice because I'm uncertain about how many people will actually engage with that system. Maybe. I know that there's a large female population that plays World of Warcraft, so it's entirely possible that that is just to placate them. But like most people I know, is anybody in chat like do you guys care about player housing? Like anyone? Like, is that like a big deal
I
for
mean,
you?
Across any like MMO I've ever played,
Just curious.
I have personally never cared about it. So long as there's just a place where it's like, okay, you can dump off your shit and then do minor stuff, like I haven't really cared beyond that.
So a lot
Raiding a
of
ha-
player housing like this stuff, usually they do it for whales and for like guilds.
It's
to
normally for the
compete with.
super invested people.
Correct, to dump money into. Normally.
Yeah. And player housing can be neat, but like it's only worthwhile if you're actively investing a lot of time into a game. Otherwise, it's just kind of, oh, okay, it exists.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. It seems like that's what they're pushing too. And one of the big things and why there's like only a third dislikes here is that a lot of people that I've seen talk about this are kind of agitated because for a while it kind of seemed like Blizzard was kind of doing things that people kind of wanted in a direction they wanted. And then all the marketing lately, as of late, for this upcoming expansion called Midnight or whatever, has been solely focused almost entirely on the housing stuff. And most people are like, okay, like that's great, but like, what about the other things? Like, what about what else is there? And people are kind of a little agitated by that. People also agitated because Blizzard has yet to really make any announcements about World of Warcraft Plus, which people are like, where is the news on that? Because people want to play the old World of Warcraft stuff, but like with new sort of content to it. And so they're kind of slow. Now, it could be just because they're keeping things under wraps, or it could be, again, tied to the fact that that is why I think Blizzard also took an interest in suing Turtle WoW, because Blizzard is seemingly making moves to produce their own form of Turtle WoW, based on what I know about
WoW
World of
Plus.
Warcraft Plus, yeah. Because WoW Plus sounds like that is their Turtle WoW. And Turtle WoW, for those of you that know, if you don't know, is pretty popular. Turtle WoW is a unofficial, by the way, World of Warcraft server, which means it's technically not licensed by Blizzard, so if they don't like it and they want it removed, but it's one of those places where it's actually got a huge growing player base and a lot of people are taking a huge interest in it. There's also active development in Turtle WoW, and they have a development team adding dungeons and stuff like that and new content. And that is starting to compete with WoW because it's starting to threaten them because no other MMO really has threatened them. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Squealy and Chatfishes, but Final Fantasy XIV ultimately failed to basically try to dethrone WoW. Just like SWTOR failed, just like they all did.
People jumped over there for a little bit, but then
It was like a
from
hot
my
spot for a little bit, and then people then went
people
back.
went back.
Yeah.
That's what my understanding of what happened.
Because for a while, it was like huge chunk of people jumped over to Final Fantasy XIV. And it seemed like Final Fantasy XIV was maybe going to actually do it. And then Final Fantasy
then they
XIV...
also shat the bed.
Yeah, then they also did what WoW did. But for whatever reason, Squeenix literally gets handed a victory.
Ooh.
Squeenix literally,
I think it's just a case of they're incompetent and just how it is.
They are incompetent. So the big thing is to understand why MMOs are so important and understand what an MMO is to understand first the social aspect. MMOs are a video game, but they're mostly social atmospheres. And the big problem with dethroning WoW and why WoW is still the king is entirely due to the fact that, again, if a community or a guild or a group of people hold together, then they're just going to keep going back to it because it's entirely bound by that community. But if a guild and a social community falls apart, for example, like what my guild did, my guild fell apart. When that occurs, there's no real reason to return anymore. Because while you can go back, all the people that you shared that experience with are gone. And so for people like Dragonclaw, that might be the case. But for a lot of people, there's still that glue to stick to. And after playing Hardcore WoW, I'm kind of convinced now, because I've seen it firsthand myself, that, and I've played the retail version of WoW now, that retail, While retail is a fun and a good game in a lot of gameplay aspects, it suffers from a lot of other issues. Its quality of life features have unironically, by existing, have actually undermined the social aspect. Because in the older WoW, if you play Classic Hardcore or any of the older WoWs, you'll find that you have to talk to each other quite a bit. You have to talk and help each other with quests and stuff, and it forces the game kind of forces you to socially interact. And because it forces you to socially interact, you end up playing with people and making connections. Because the game was kind of set up that way. It was hard. And because it was hard, even though the game was simple, because World of Warcraft Classic is a simple game. It's brain dead in terms of how simple it is by comparison to retail. Retail is mechanically superior in every way, in every metric. However, that comes at a cost. Like it's like one of those things where it's like mechanically retail has a lot going for it, but at the same time, mechanically that's cute, but at the same time, it's because it has like the dungeon finder, because it has that like shared quest system, because whenever you tag units, you can help each other fight things. You don't have to party up anymore. Because those things exist now, because there's shared loot and all these quality of life things, it inadvertently hurts the social atmosphere entirely, destroying it to a degree. Because if you play retail, you can talk to people. People will talk back to you. They're not like different. They just often you'll have to be the one that sparks the conversation. Because when I messed around with it, I'll be like, "Hi," and they're like, "Oh," they'll say hi back. But if I play classic, people will often start conversations on their own or talk to you on without being prompted. Retail, everyone's kind of sitting in their own little bubble, hoping somebody will interact with them and waiting. Waiting for somebody to do something. Versus classic, everybody kind of just talks a lot more. And that's what I've
There's
noticed.
so much yapping in the fucking world chat in Turtle WoW. It's just people making fun of each other half the time.
But yeah, that's one thing about like WoW that's pretty interesting. Like retail is it's like playing it with, because we played it a little bit, we did a test run with Chumpus and Bindio, and it still jives well and it plays well with friends, like as it should, right? But one of the issues I see is that a lot of retail players might not be getting that experience. And so I think the big issue here is that they need to downgrade aspects of the social part. They need to make it less friendly in certain areas.
Convenient.
Less convenience. Because playing World of Warcraft with Indio and Chumpus for a little bit we did, it was pretty fun. It started to jive well, things started to click well. You could feel the mechanics interlocking and working well. And what's weird is when you play it solo, it also plays well solo as well, which I guess is what it's designed to do, because most MMOs need to have a solo function, just like the Classic does. It's interesting, though, because the social aspect is what the primary draw is. I've found that in my experience, while retail is not as complex or as simpler than Classic Hardcore is a more fun social experience in almost every metric, in my opinion. And so I rate Hardcore Classic WoW, while it is mechanically and gameplay-wise inferior in almost every metric, it is socially superior because it is far more fun to interact with the communities of those places. And those servers are fun to interact because the people in the player base is actually genuinely quite fun. Pretty helpful, too. Not overwhelmingly toxic, surprisingly, which I was expecting.
To be fair, a big part of that is that it's hardcore.
True. I think the hardcore server might help filter the more toxic elements. I've not played regular Classic in a while. Last time I did Classic, people were very similar to hardcore. They were very nice and very helpful. I don't think that's changed, but I don't know. And each server is different, by the way, so bear that in mind with their populations and how people behave. But both servers I've been on, both retail and hardcore Classic, the player populace seems to be pretty chatty, pretty friendly, memey, and more or less general good attitudes. So, interesting. It's just weird, because I was expecting a lot more of a toxic experience when I was going to play it, because I've listened to a lot of what people say about it, but then I realized that a lot of those people don't actually play it or never have. And so the experience was quite eye-opening, I would say. But yeah, and logs and DPS meter, everyone is excluded from the endgame. Oh, yes, you're bringing that up. Good, Fendi. Yeah, good point. One of the big problems that retail suffers from is that, yes, the endgame sucks, in my opinion. But why? Because the endgame is made for explicitly the only people who play the game regularly and religiously. If you're not diehard playing the game punishes you. And so raids are designed for the highest ends of players. This is an example of a studio that listens too much to people who are honestly telling you, essentially, what's the word? Like the most dedicated players are the only ones talking, and the most
They're such
Yeah.
a niche part of the community that listening to them is actually detrimental.
Because I was showing Indio the game, and he was like, "Wait, this looks really fun. I want to try it." And so we started playing it together, and it's like, yeah, it is fun, and he's been having a good time with it. It's not like the most amazing game ever, but it is a fun game, right? And I was asking him about this because I wanted to get his opinion because he'd never really played WoW. I'm like, "What turned you off?" And he's like, "Well, when I saw streamers play it, I usually see all these boxes and windows and all these XP bars for different items and things, and there's like 6 different XPs or 15 different like things you got to level up or whatever." And it's like, yeah, that's fair, because at the late game it looks like that because that's kind of what you're doing at the end game, and that's why the end game isn't very good. Like the most fun I've ever had, and I had a friend who said this, who likes bread quite a bit, and basically what his opinion was is that his favorite part about World of Warcraft was never the end game. It was actually just questing with friends and progressing with friends from level 1
Ghost.
to max level. Take care, Ghost. And that was his favorite part. And that was honestly what a lot of our original guild was. We didn't really engage with the raids because the raids was when the game stopped being fun, because raids weren't really made to be fun anymore. Like, let me explain this. Like, in some raids, you have to like fight a boss, you have to proc a thing, then you have to have one player who has the thing procced on him has to run into a corner for somebody to cast a spell on him, then run back to the thing, and it's like, no.
A lot of arbitrary mechanics in modern art.
It's
modern
not
WoW.
a sandbox. What makes dungeons so much fun with 5 players is that a 5-man dungeon is fun because you can experiment, you can explore, and there's different tactics you can approach each problem to and each boss. And you know what? Even the suboptimal paths work. The problem with raids is the suboptimal path means you go back and you do it again until you do it the right way. And that's not fun. I'm sorry, but that just isn't fun. That might be fun for like a hyper niche group of people that get to the top game, but the vast majority of players don't get to the late game because the late game sucks. The late game isn't fun. I don't want to download 60 add-ons just to play my game. Like a few quality of life mods. I love modding my games as is. I will always mod them, right? But when mods become mandatory for fun, I think that's when we reach the threshold where the game's
Or
bad.
if you're like a healer in a raid and you need to download the add-on to see like everyone's health nice and neatly, otherwise it takes
really
too long
should
to
be
identify who's dying.
It should be built into the fucking game as a manual. And this is something that they need to improve as the base game. This is why when I see middle management people who haven't played WoW, and I'm like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. How are you going to fix the problems World of Warcraft has if you have no idea why we have them in the first place? And so that's the issue we're running into. Again, no idea why we have these problems because these people don't understand them because from their point of view, well, I don't know why the game has Warcraft in the name. It's like, oh, I don't know, gee. It's about Warcraft, like war.
Having war there makes it sound too hostile.
It's not, from the fact that they were originally, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Looks at original artwork.
There's
No,
not
no,
enough
it was
crafting in our Warcraft
The
game.
cover art for Warcraft 1 is an orc and a human, like, screaming at each
in
other.
in a fight to the death.
And the expansion was the same thing as well. And the only difference is Warcraft 2, I don't remember what the cover art for that was. But yeah, like, the literal box art has it on it, alright, my dudes? Like, and how the fuck do you not know? Ugh, it's just one of those things that agitates me. I know that World of Warcraft is 32 years old. There's about to be 32 years old. But, like, by God, if you're going to get into game development and you're going to work on the game, then I think it should be mandated that you need to play it. If you should watch that interview, it's really bad. If you can find a clip for me, go ahead and send it to me. Like, a clip of the section. We might watch
Send it to me, Dragonclaw.
We can watch it on a fireside chat. I just wanted to talk about the Midnight thing because I intend to stream the Midnight thing to see what Midnight's like and to see if they're out of touch with like the game or if the game is actually making improvements. Or is it actually just player housing the video game? Welcome to 2008, fucking housing market collapse chat. It's over. WoW kind of fell apart when they got rid of the 40-man rating and added mythic rating. I never really engaged with the rating mechanic, but a lot of my friends who did like rating, gameplay stuff, like did talk about that, like Dinko and stuff like that.
Vulcan
like
also
doing
said
it.
flying mounts ruined WoW in many ways.
You're right. To a degree, they definitely did. Because exploration became something you could just fly over. I will say that retail, when playing retail and looking at the world itself, it was very beautiful. Like looking from like Orgrimmar and seeing Enduratar and looking up and seeing the mountain and the world tree in the distance behind Orgrimmar. That was cool. I think the draw distance improvements are amazing. But yes, I agree. Flying mounts, I like flying mounts because it's cool to explore the land in a way I haven't seen before. But if you play through WoW with a new group of people or playing through it from a low level, you should force yourself to not use it. Because by using it, you are going to start bad habits. It's what happened in Dune Awakening, guys. You guys remember that, right? We got access to the Ornithopter. What happened? We started flying everywhere. We stopped exploring the way we did before, and we just flew everywhere. The Ornithopter is really cool, but the Ornithopter, you can get it way too early. And I think the Ornithopter should be super late game. Like, I think they should be like tier 8 or something, or tier 7. Like, throw it way the fuck out at the end so that by the time you reach it, you've explored everything by foot. Because the big problem is that you can't.
I think the issue is that there was nothing Ornithopter specific required for exploration outside of the PvP zone.
Yeah.
Where being on the sand was deadly.
The base zone has nothing to do with the Ornithopter. Like, I mean, mechanically. There's no mechanics for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the only
all the travel.
The only thing the Ornithopter really did was just expedite travel. And if you were mining in the, I forget the name of the region, that northeastern region with the rock spires, you could just land on it. Yeah, you could land on top and just mine and then jump in the Ornithopter and leave. That was the
well, it was needed to even get up to those, and that's where lots of aluminum and stuff was.
That's what I'm saying. That was like the only thing I can think of that you like needed it for.
Yep, and there was nothing fun with it. It was like, okay, just grab medals and then bring medals back. And it wasn't like, oh, cool, I can do a dogfight and have an air battle, or in the Haga Basin against NPC ornithopters that are evil. And it's like, no, you got to go into the deep desert. And by the way, it's a tier system, so the tier system is the same problem World of Warcraft had, by the way, in PvP. I don't know if they fixed that, but like, where if you don't have the best item level, meaning you haven't grinded the best PvP gear, your tier of gear will determine whether or not you get fucked. So if you have a high tier, you do great, and if you have a low tier, you do bad.
Glancing through the change logs, especially because they did Chapter 3 recently, and they've been doing hot fixes ever since, like every day practically, since they released it. No, I didn't see anything that would negate the massive tiers advantage. If anything, it'll be worse now because now you can further modify tier 6 to make it even stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if people still do care about PvP, whichever guild gets to the max tier first is just going to win everything.
They're just going to dominate, and then it's not going to be fun. I mean, that happened with us because technically we weren't the first there, so we got our asses kicked. But once we got there, we had the most chatfish, we had the most people, so we just literally we dominated. And by the end of playing Dune Awakening, we were dominating so much that there was no one to challenge us, and it was boring.
Yeah,
the global chat was warning everybody that we were there.
Yeah, they would just warn when we were there, like,
they would just say, "Hey guys, the Harkonnens are here."
Yeah, they would just call us there comes the swarm. There comes the swarm.
Yeah, and I think that was probably about the peak of what you were going to get, and then everybody started betraying you and fucking everything up.
Trying to fucking poach.
The worst part about the betraying that they did is that they didn't even like fight us in the game. They wouldn't do that. They would just like try to poach members from our community. That's what they tried to do.
It's like, who are their best pilots? Let's try to poach them.
That
was literally all
they went after all my wing leaders. They went after all my wing.
And I was right, kids. You were wrong.
God damn it!
You tried to trust them.
I'm gonna make Bucky in charge of fucking psyops next time.
Okay.
Bucky does psyops? I've never.
But Bucky organizes the entire server against Kibbs.
Treachery. He's like, long live the kid.
No, the Emperor sends his regards.
Oh, goddamn. But yeah. World of Warcraft is still fun, but the big problem is that leadership, in my opinion, is retarded. And also, The other thing that's retarded I want to talk about, well, one thing that's good about this, from the changes I looked at, the fact that you can now, for free, play the game from 1 to level 80 with friends is pretty good. It means that the trial is actually reasonable. The only thing that you have to buy is the late game content. What I still think they're fucking up here, in my opinion, is that they should just switch to a free-to-play model. Become a free-to-play game. You have, listen to me, Blizzard, you fucking morons. You have so much
We
fucking
want their subscription
cosmetics.
money, kids.
They have so much cosmetics that it will turn a dime, because their cosmetics and purchasable mounts are really cool. I do not want to buy them, though. They look cool. They look cool, but I would never want to buy one after, like, again, because, like, I used to be super into WoW. I used to buy those mounts and stuff, but, like, I look at them now, I'm like, nah, $25 for that? Like, no, I could buy like a steak for that. No, I could buy
The
like
issue,
a
kids,
steak
is
for
that
that.
you've aged out of their market,
Yeah,
and
you're
most
no
of the people
longer.
that had money aged out of their market.
And so they're
Which
trying to
is why
grab
they're
at a
not.
new market.
Which is why they're not going to be moving away from the subscription model anytime soon.
Yeah, but what's weird is they're
bigger
trying so
problem
much to get, like, the old players back. Like, a lot of the changes and a lot of the updates for retail and the whole push for WoW Plus is to try to literally appeal to me, people like me, and to get me to come back.
Mhm.
And there is things I see that I like, but there are things that, like, are just like, the reasons why I left are still there too. The reasons why.
The issue, kids, that you're not understanding is that WoW has a certain aesthetic that has been the same since, like, Cataclysm. Like, it hasn't really upgraded in quality in terms of its aesthetic in forever. And so most people these
Underrated
days
bit.
don't give a fuck about stuff that looks like that. Kids today like Fortnite and,
Stuff like that. That's more
League.
cartoony.
Dota, things that looked attractive, shit like that.
Yeah, I
know,
mean,
they've
that's. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They've been doing a lot of Pixar-esque like designs for a while now.
Yes,
so I'm not so sure.
well, they overhauled the characters in Draenor. Was it Draenor or whatever? And Legion especially, and BFA. They've been overhauling all the models to be very Disney-esque in their design. They've got that sort of like Pixar look to them, you know. You know what I'm talking about, Squealy, because they've actually gone
That's what I
away from the
said.
original. Yeah, I know, but I'm furthering your point. Like they've
No,
gone
you're
away
so
from
right,
the
Kibbs.
original. No, shut the fuck up.
You're so right, Kim. Yeah, you're so right.
You know what, kids? You've convinced me.
We love teasing you, Kim. You know that?
Trying to talk about something, but whatever. We're moving on. So next up, what you took too long. You retarded.
We'll continue your point. So, unironically, they've actually really softened the edge of Warcraft. That's what I'm gonna call it. Because if you look at the old art and at least the concept art, you'll see like very like scary looking characters. And you look at it nowadays and like, okay,
It's
they look
baby
like they're
face.
at a theme park.
It's like baby face work.
Fucking
Versus-
Anduin looks like a soy boy. Like, what the fuck? He's supposed to be the king of the alliance and shit, but nope.
But yeah, I think that sums up that pretty well. Moving on. So the next object we have is Games Workshop. So you guys know about Games Workshop did remove Void War from Steam. So this is from the development team at Games Workshop. These are images that were provided for me by Ritualist. And so this is from Morph. He says, "Hi, everyone. Void War is now back on Steam, which is the good news. Here are new details on what happened. To recap, the initial takedown was triggered by a DMCA notice attributed to Games Workshop. At the time, we could not independently verify the submitter beyond the name and contact email Valve included. The contact email was GW's public infringement inbox, and the name listed was Mal Reynolds, which is also a fictional character from the sci-fi TV show Firefly. After over a week of no response, Games Workshop eventually replied to our email and confirmed the notice was theirs. They said their concern was limited to a specific shot from one of the trailers on the store page, arguing certain elements could create the mistaken impression that Void War is associated with Games Workshop. Shot from one of the trailers. Mistaken Void War. There we go. Specifically, what was described as the oversized convex shoulder pads with a metallic rim. All of the other
my fucking
the artwork in the trailer is all of the artwork in the trailer is original work created by our artists. While we disagree with their assessment, the simplest way to get the game back up and avoid getting bogged down in DMCA process was to remove that trailer and move on. We may re-upload an updated version later after we find the time to adjust that shot. But for now, our priority is shipping content and finishing multi-language font support so we can finally deliver a proper translation. Thanks for your patience, and thank you for the overwhelming support. So, yeah.
Pauldrons. It was over pauldrons.
It's over pauldrons.
Pauldron shit
GW, yet again, with the pauldron shit, because they're trying to trademark it, basically attacked this indie studio. And because they attacked them, they knew that the indie studio couldn't defend themselves because they don't have the money and finances to fight them in a legal battle. And they know that by removing them from the store page, they're holding their head under the water like a kitten, right? Drowning them. And so the entire purpose of this is to basically force them to pull it out so that they can continue to make them, change their stuff because it's too close to their grimdark setting. Because God forbid there's another grimdark setting that has, a similar
Power armor.
article piece on their body, despite the fact that the rest of the look of their I forget what they call the warriors in the setting, they look completely different. The only similar is that there's
It's
a brim
different
on the
for
pauldron.
factions.
Yeah.
It's different for different factions. Like some of them are champions, some of them are like it's been too long, I forget. I just remember champions was the name of one of them.
Yep. And so it's like, yet again, Games Workshop abusing copyright to go after indies. Now, whether this is going to be the only time they do it, because the game now got put back up. Now, remember, chat, when companies do this, it's usually because they want to remove them permanently. Not because there's one item that was offensive, but because the whole thing was offensive.
Which means they're probably going to try again and
So
use a different argument.
they might do it again after they do it, and piece by piece by piece until it's completely erased. Now, hopefully, that's just me fear-mongering there, because I would like that to be the case, but the issues I've seen this happen before, so I'm just going to say that might be the case, because, well, what does it matter if we know or not, right? Like, it's not like we can do anything about it. It's not like, but it's important that you be aware that Games Workshop is one of the worst companies in existence. And just
This
don't
reminds me
buy
of,
their shit. Don't support them.
reminds me
Fuck.
of Nintendo and then Pokemon Uranium.
But Kibbs,
Where
we have to
Pokemon
buy
doesn't-
plastic crack.
And Nintendo doesn't care about like mods and stuff, but once something gets too popular,
Then
they
they
fucking
care.
kill it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it
then all of a sudden they
threatens.
magically care.
It's like the popularity of this is starting to come close to ours. That's dangerous because it could eclipse us. And the reason why they feel this way, by the way, chat, is because a lot of these companies understand that if a modding team or modding group becomes popular enough, they often, what does a big modding team that's super successful do? They go and make their own game, Dota 2, as an example. And that pumps out shit tons of money. That's why companies like this view these people as threats. Now, in this particular case, this not necessarily this team is a modding community. This team has basically made a FTL-inspired game, heavily inspired FTL game, but it's basically better than FTL than every metric, in my opinion. Mostly because it has a direction, has an art style, and also has like a really cool like ability system and character system that's really nice. And I really like that focus. The big problem here, again, boils down to the fact that will this be it? Will this be the only time that GW goes after them? Or will this finally be, oh, it was just the pauldron thing? Like, okay, if it's just the pauldron thing, that's scummy. And I know why they did it. It's because that pauldron is very identifiably, like when you close your eyes, if you think of the pauldron with the iron brim or whatever, you're going to think 40K. And so it's possible from a certain lens that you could view it that way. But again, I still disagree in the sense that it's different.
It's such
enough.
a generic idea.
It's not like unique enough. Like it's just a pauldron though. And GW tried to do this in the past with trademarking that pauldron idea. Now they've succeeded. Well, they haven't succeeded because it didn't go to court, but there is a precedent for them actually making a studio back down from it now. Now, the only reason why the studio backed down is because, again, they are an indie. If their game isn't on Steam, they're losing out on sales opportunities. And they can't afford to do that. So, yet again, GW still...
Not fair.
fucking around with this stuff. GW is going to go after anybody that does any sort of grim dark things, by the way, if it starts to look remotely like their thing. If it looks legally distinct enough, there's nothing they can do about it. But if there's...
They'll still bitch and moan.
Yeah, they'll bitch and moan, but there's not a lot they can do. But the issue is that, yeah, GW is really rancid about this. Their legal teams have always been bad. Like, as an example, like they often go after content creators for making videos about this stuff. They went after content creators who covered their lore. They went after content creators who made fan animations. They would even like threaten them to basically stop producing stuff or work for us or sign a contract. You sign that contract, we found out what happens. If you sign that contract, they basically lock you in a golden cage and be like, shut the fuck up, don't do anything. And it's like, okay.
And that's how we get the Menace animator.
Yep, that's how we get the Menace animator. The Astartes animator died. Reborn was the Menace man. The Menace man.
He's menacing.
Improved, you could say.
He's John Menace. He's John Menace.
More jaded and hateful than before.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so that was the story of John Menace Chatfish. So yeah, this is interesting confirmation. It sounded like it was potentially fake because of that name, but it's just like, okay, maybe the guy actually, his name is Mal Reynolds, which is very, very weird. Very, very specific.
I think they were trying to hide it, being honest.
Yes, I think they don't want to put somebody's actual name to it because they don't want to find out who's the one killing franchises that are competitors.
Yes, but they were authorized.
Yep.
So because GW did contact them and was like, yeah, no. So interesting. But next up and lastly we have for today, and we'll see if there's any Chatfish things.
Oh, there are some things from Chatfish.
Behold Chatfishes.
Calling all Helldivers. Urgent message. We have received intel that the automatons have stolen the plans to the Star of Peace. We believe that they are building a weapon of mass destruction.
Cyberstan's atmosphere has shown signs of great amounts of pollution. Surveillance shows that on its surface, great factories have been constructed.
These actions will not stand as we march to Cyberstan. To take this battle to the automatons, we will unleash our greatest weaponry.
The TD-220 Bastion is a direct evolution of the original TD-110 from the First Galactic War, armed with a 120mm main
He's so Swedish it hurts.
Firing high explosive
But all
projectiles,
very
as well as a coaxially mounted heavy machine gun. A Bastion tank crew is composed of a driver, a gunner, and 2 supporting passenger seats. This allows for a full team of Helldivers to ride together into the breach in the name of spreading managed democracy.
In this unprecedented time, we know they must be stopped.
The fate of this historic march rests solely in the hands of you, Helldiver.
The machines must perish in order for life to flourish.
Please listen.
Going to be bad. Not forget resources.
So yeah, the March for Cyberstan thing seems to be received incredibly well on the levels of everybody seems to be having a lot of fun with it. And the new update stuff and changes have been all pretty positive. The addition of a final tank has been insane. The tank and the Bastion introduction to Helldivers 2 has been probably the most fun vehicle ever. More fun than the mech, more fun than the FRV ever was. And so, yeah. And the addition of just a lot of heavy ordnance has been pretty good all across the board. So it really seems that Arrowhead kind of is back on track to doing really good things. So there's so many Hulks on Lesoth, it's crazy. Yes, that's because that's the gate to Cyberstan. But currently there is a thingamajiggy going on.
I think the biggest thing is that they're overhauled to get rid of 90% of their goddamn files out of the game. Kind of help them do this.
Yes, it's also back down to being under 100 gigs massively. So yeah, the crusade for Cyberstan was going pretty well, but as I suspected, the little mongoloids didn't assign the DSS to secure Lasoth. Instead, now we are winning pretty heavily, by the way. We're going to win that very quickly, it looks like. So the counteroffensive is going to be halted, then the offensive is going to resume. And Cyberstan, we are at the gates of Cyberstan. It looks like the main force is going to be probably going back here to Aurora Bay, because there are cities in Aurora Bay. There are no cities on that world. Cities are important because taking a city will massively improve our gains. And looks like... Oh, I see. The logistics are going to Buddha. I see.
Yeah, you can't go directly to Cyberstan. We
I
still have
see how they changed that, or how they did that. Because I was like, yeah, it's going to be just like that, and then Cyberstan. No.
We need more time. Stall them.
And I'm
now.
guaranteeing there's something in Vita
I'll be
Miterix Prime.
okay, guys. I gotta go.
Okay. But yeah, so big thing here, Helldivers 2, making massive improvements. Looks pretty good. Game is in a pretty good state. That's just going on about the star. Our star of peace, a just weapon that brings peace. Their star of peace, wretched weapon of mass destruction. Good Chatfish. The issue with the tank and random, none wants to enter it. Yes, that's why you do need to play with friends. I'd recommend interacting with our community and playing with our boys instead. That's what the bickering bunch is all about.
Would have been funnier if they dressed up as Helldivers top brass and presented it seriously.
Also, just as a heads up, one of our players will be a little bit late. I just got a DM from one of our players. Our pen and paper campaign will be delayed by about an hour. So I'll be updating that timer for the pen and paper. But we're still on schedule for today. Just a little bit of a later start than usual. So that's okay. We have some subjects to go through to buy time. And then I can use the excuse to go to the grocery store quickly. Yes. This works out for me.
Always having to get groceries, chat.
Yeah, because I'm really bad. Like, I get enough for, like, a couple meals,
Really
but
bad.
not
It's
enough for...
stuff in his face.
My issue is, since I found a combination of hot dogs and hot dog buns that equal out, and I don't have to, go to get more, I'll just buy those, and it's like, delicious. And then all of a sudden, like halfway through the week, it's like, I ate all my hot dogs. I'm sad now.
All chatfish are queens. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, the first one is Minecraft.
So I looked at that. It's been out for over a year.
Warcraft.
Okay, we've got all these open. So, this thing's been out for a year and just finally fucking made the rounds?
Yeah, if you see right there on the right.
Oh, you know why? Because
release date.
They did a PR stunt for it. Yes. So, Education, Good Trouble is what the Minecraft DLC is. So this is a bit old, but I completely slipped, I think, most of your guys' memory and mine as well. But they made a Minecraft DLC with a bunch of fucking civil rights things on it. And it was basically, like, just not liked by anybody. So, interesting. It's yet further proof that Minecraft does not know what fucking Minecraft is. And that's why Hytale is better than Minecraft. Like, Hytale is so much better. Like, I don't even want to... Like, the idea of playing Minecraft is just so nonsensical. I don't... Like, it's icky. It's gross. It's weak. Citizens of Pakistan. Oh my god, help.
Citizens of Pakistan.
Welcome to Minecraft. We're going to do civil rights marches and stuff, too. What the fuck? He's eating to build those cheeks. What the fuck? It's turning
The thing is, it's not even.
Don't even say that.
It's not even the most unprecedented thing that Minecraft has done, because there was a server that was entirely dedicated to, like in countries where they banned certain material, people would go onto that Minecraft server and like basically type down like all the stuff that was banned in that country. Like they've done that before, but this is it's way more cringe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wasn't there a server where like that someone was just building the Library of Alexandria or some shit?
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was. That was the theme of it, and people would go there to nominally to look at the Library of Alexandria, but it had like a bunch of like banned material and whatnot in it to record and archive.
Yes, that was actually so Minecraft has been used for good things. Minecraft was used for this particular like secret Alexandria library for places like Iran, basically, or like, various censored places like China. And the thing is, you could go to the server and it was a library that you could access the books and stuff in the game, and the books were all banned books. in those countries. And so it was actually a reservoir of knowledge and learning. And so Minecraft has been used for good things in the past. Yes. But it just shows you how far Minecraft has kind of fallen. Because the reality is, it's like Morgan Freeman, I think, says it pretty good. Like, in my opinion, like, why does a black man get his own holiday? Like, white man doesn't get it. Jewish man don't get it. Do you want one? And the Jewish guy interviewer is like, no, I don't. He's like, well, then why would I want one? Why would I? For, like, Black History Month. There's no Jewish History Month. There's no White History Month. There's no Anglo-Saxon History Month. There's no Germanic History Month, in the United States of America. Why the fuck do we get one? I don't want one. And it's like, it's a great point. Like, why? Because by doing it, by celebrating events like this, right? Because I do believe in equal rights and for everybody. I think everybody should be treated as fairly and judged by their actions, as we should, on an individual basis, because every man, woman, and child deserves a fair shot, a fair shake, right? But if you burn that bridge, you should be punished. And the big thing here is that by celebrating, and we're not going to get into too much polysqueaks here, but again, this is games getting into it too. By celebrating political things like this, by celebrating these things, you are embracing like actual racism. Like, racism is funny because it's a silly little thing and it's a meme you can say hard R's at each other with, right? But like, when you start to celebrate these things, you are actually, what you're effectively doing is you're just empowering divisive thought. Because the reality is, there shouldn't be a history month for either. It should be, the only cultural significant events that should exist in your country or society are religious, cultural, and national, not racial. And the issue is that is a racial celebration, which means it's going to be incredibly divisive. Oh, look, little Shabo spotted in chat. Shabo, what are you doing awake? You've been a lot more...
Yeah, little miss, I'm going to go to bed because it's super late. Stays up.
We'll tell Indio. What? No. Then Bendio just like draws on her forehead. Got him. When do Chatfish like me as well get their own holiday? Yeah, so she calls Chatfish food. But yeah, so the big thing here is that, again, celebration of this stuff is bad, in my opinion. It shouldn't be celebrated. It should be remembered. Always, right? Never forget history. But we don't have a celebration day for the beginning of World War One. Like, oh, Franz Ferdinand was assassinated day, yay! Yeah. Like, what?
I mean, I'd be fine with a Franz Ferdinand assassination day.
Like, we don't have Hitler was inaugurated in the Chancellor. You're like, yay!
Maybe we should.
Yeah.
We have Veterans Day. We have like these days of remembrance. They're not days to throw parades. Like, well, some people do throw parades on like Veterans Day.
You can throw certain parades,
it's
but a Veterans Day isn't divisive. It's not going to tell one group of people is all evil and one group of people is all okay. Veterans Day is like, hey, my arms and legs fucking are blown off. And it's basically like, thank you for, your sacrifice because you fought while we didn't. We stayed at home.
Here's a 10% discount.
Here's the 10% discount. And we want to have a day to commemorate your sacrifice and remember you as the hero you are. And never forget that you're a hero. Now, some people don't celebrate Veterans Day that way. Some people just take it as a day off. But again, it's down to an individual basis. And we can't fault individuals for their own choices, right? Actually, no, we can. But actually, no, we
say. Excuse me.
I was just trying to be like, what's the word? Non-accusatory.
What
But then
you
I realized
to say is like how people interpret and how people celebrate that day. It's like that's up to them.
Yeah, Veterans Day, I usually say thank you to my dad and wish him well, and go and usually bring him a treat.
I have brought you this sour candy.
Yeah. Oh my God, when he had the sour candy, it was so funny. He like licked it and he was like, looks at me, squints his eyes because he can tell. He's like, And he puts it in his mouth, and his eyes just close, and it was over.
It's the dog closing his eyes at the sunset gif.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he accepted his fate. He knew it was over.
Show says, if he meow, I will sleep.
Who? Squealy? Go ahead, meow.
Yeah.
He did say, oh, regular.
Goal yet.
Chatfish, give me all your money. They're like, no.
If we make the daily goal, I'd feel more obliged, meow.
I'd feel more obliged. Okay. Well, when we make the daily goal,
Let me see if I got my tax refund yet.
Oh my god. Fuck, we gotta do taxes. Chompa.
Yeah, I know. It's like I keep telling you, and you just no.
Chompa, help
Putting it off.
me. Chompa,
No, Kib don't
help.
want to.
You putting it off because you're a
Help.
lazy shit.
Help me. All right, so Kyle, so
I'm so
how are
glad
you
I don't do
enjoying?
the
You mean
taxes.
Kibbs? How are you enjoying the Call of Cthulhu? Don't call me Kyle. That may be my real name, but you're not allowed to call me that. You're a Chatfish.
What if I call you Child instead?
It's the only ones who call me that are my dad and my mom and my brothers. You aren't
Robin.
either of them. You are a Chatfish.
And Carlos.
Chatfish are for the bucket. Are for the bucket.
And Bubbles.
They help.
Yeah.
Gives Kibbs 10,000
hands.
Russian rubles. Damn. Worthless. Actually, I have no
I call
idea.
them chibs.
I'm joking because I assume they're like dongs where they are. And show a dollar bill. She's like, oh my god. Gets a wheelbarrow of dongs. Like, holy shit.
But how are you enjoying the Call of Cthulhu game before you just forget about that question?
The Call of Cthulhu game is pretty good. You guys need to hurry up with the next campaign. Chop, let's go. It's like, we're not even done with that one. No, not even
of,
done
that
with it.
reminds me. Okay, here we go.
Why are we not allowed? Because it's a bad... Okay, so you want to know why I don't want you guys to call me that? Why you can call me by my first name. Like, it's not the end of the world. But the reason why I would rather you call me Kibbs, and you guys, ultimately, it's your choice to call me whatever the fuck you want. Dipshit or whatever, right? But, like, I'll punish you if you do that. I'll ban you. But...
Boons are how much?
50.
Pity.
We
50.
can't pre-order those, though.
But they can. On the day of. I allow it.
Yeah, day of,
Okay.
jackass.
Yeah,
He was
bitch.
like, I want the daily goal made, and then I look over.
Yeah,
at the
Trump
daily
is
goal.
actively adding constraints to make it harder to generate profits. Like, fuck.
God
Then why-
damn, this
then
fucking
why are
pay-to-win
Boons
campaign.
then
bullshit.
why are Boons listed? Oh, okay, no, I see.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. What the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, the reason why I don't want you guys to call me by my first name is because my account, like, my handle isn't that, and so if people misconstrued my first name with the Kibbs caricature, like for new people, they're gonna be like, "Who's Kibbs?" You know, that's gonna be an issue. It
Also,
really
the
comes
Daily
down
Gold-
to what the fuck. The Daily Goal's been made. Okay, think of the nation. I don't know who did that. One
Good
sec.
hands.
Who
Fucking A.
could it be?
All right. Squealing.
Is that all for?
Shush! Shut the fuck
My
up.
God.
Let Squealy speak.
Mao.
Do it right. You're fucking lazing out. Yeah, I know you are. Now do it right. Do it right.
Wow.
No, not when I'm talking. Now.
Meow.
Nope. We talked again.
Shut the fuck up already, then. Meow.
Oh,
Meow,
God
meow,
damn it.
meow,
Oh, we keep talking. Just keep doing
meow,
it.
meow, 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 meow.
No, do it right.
Meow.
Good. Now that's like
Meow.
60 of them. We really milked them for that.
I appreciate that. I get nothing out of this, by the way. I should get fucking cyberbullied. That's all I get.
But yeah.
That's not true. I got something out of it.
It has to do with
Boons.
visibility. Like, the Bickering Bunch YouTube channel is probably the worst name, but it's actually a great name because it so encapsulates us. But it's probably the worst name for like I should have just called it Kibbs or something. But I felt like it's gross, and I still think it is because it's like, oh, it's just my name. It's like narcissistic. Like, only a narcissist wants to name a channel after themselves. Somebody with like some sort of fucking self-confidence problem.
Some sort of YouTuber would do that.
Yeah, it's just gross. I don't like it because
Speaking of Kibbs, speaking of the alternate channel, which is just called Kibbs.
Gibbs 69. Terrible fucking name.
You could have had the 420, but you failed.
Why did
You
it
failed.
fucking generate a number at the end? Is why I asked that. I'm like, I don't know, Kibbs.
At least it wasn't 6-7.
And then it put
And
6-9
why
at the
that
end, and
number?
I'm like, no, why? Statistically,
6-9,
what are the probabilities of this
6-9.
happening? What are the probabilities of it putting a 69 in there? Very marginal. Very
Show is calling you a good Discord kitten.
Now crawl into your bucket and put your lily pad on. Right, lily pad, sleepy. Thank you for the kind donations. Now, what did Trumpus or what did Hans put it to? Thank you for the donation.
What do you think he put it to?
It's Dinotopia, isn't it?
Oh, hey. Oh, you're right. I should put it towards that too.
Yeah, you should.
Fuck! What did he actually put it towards then?
Oh, geez, I wonder, when I was asking Rapier how much are boons, I wonder what I put
You
it
bought
towards.
some rerolls for yourself.
You're goddamn right.
Fighting is a nightmare if you
Look,
forget.
Kibbs, it's this or you get angry hands. It's one of the two.
I know. It's why my secondary channel's is Kibbs, but it's Kibbs69, so it's kind of awful.
I approve hands of your methods.
This campaign has been fucking paid away from the beginning.
Yeah,
Let me go take a piss.
it's either this or angry hands. Pick.
It's guaranteed he gets the roles he wants.
Oh my god, based.
This is saved coming in real life.
No, thank you for your donation. Good job making the daily goal. Dragonclaw's family will be spared. He's like, yay. Now, next article, or next thing. We're almost done. 2 more things. River gives 5 memberships. This is for a game called Norse Oath of Blood, official developer diary. World building video.
The goal of Norse was to make.
Why is it not actually HD though? It says like HD, but it definitely isn't.
Make something.
So I found sometimes on Discord. Or,
it's
YouTube
tripwire.
it does that.
all handcrafted, handmade. Our game designers and world designers, they have a big toolbox that they can play with as we create our new missions, and just always, give something new, a new challenge, maybe a new wrinkle on that same challenge.
No! It's mine.
Turn-based tactics game?
Unreal been a fantastic tool for us.
The introduction of Nanite and Lumen and MetaHuman made so many tasks much easier. It's a great tool for us to create characters very, very quickly.
Very easy to work with, fully integrated into Unreal.
There is so much that you can do with that technology. And we can really capture every nuance of performance. We can have a tear roll down a cheek. We can have that moment where someone looks and reacts, and it's captured. It's allowed us to produce a game that is, at its heart, a story filled with rich emotion and nuance.
What if Odin thinks we are cowards?
Then we must show Odin that we are no cowards.
It's a lot, and you've kind of got the whole like
That
rig
lip sync.
on.
The lips are bad.
Physicality we had to be really careful with.
Yeah.
We couldn't just embrace each other.
Yeah.
We couldn't get too close to each other because this piece of equipment is in front of your head, and so you'd be affecting the sensors. You'd be affecting so that was for me that was a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Hold the beast of Loki's brood.
Seeing the
motion cap
cutscenes
never
that were
looks good, by the
written
way.
come to life in the studio with the motion capture.
I got you, Snake.
That's been one
It
of my
just looks
favourite
uncanny
things.
as
I have
fuck.
returned with a gift. What gift? An opportunity.
The world of Norse focuses heavily on the characters. We put focus on creating the backstory of our characters, their wants and their
The lighting
needs,
bug
so
with
you
the hair,
hopefully
yeah.
feel a much stronger attachment to the characters as you experience their story and help them along in achieving their ultimate goals.
From the ashes of your world, you have built something new.
The goal of making this game was to give players an authentic Viking experience. What kind of aspirations or thoughts and journeys they were on personally.
And we feel that we have done our utmost when it comes to gathering the information that is actually out there viable.
We took actual satellite data as a starting point for our maps. So, with our art Bible and our biome maps in mind, we could pick some very interesting locations that can be visual distinct, that is unique, that you haven't seen like this in a game before.
We're blessed, we're a Norwegian-based studio, so we could visit those places, we could see them, we could see what's left, and could see how hard it would have been in that period of history to survive in that environment.
I'm a very big fan of environmental storytelling, so we try to create like those little pockets of, something actually happened. We're not just creating a world for the sake of gameplay, but we're creating a world that looks like people in that universe actually lived in, and then gameplay happens on top of that. We've done a lot of research on the art history, on the found ornaments, on excavations that were done from Viking burials, and try to create like an authentic as possible world that feels lived in and also true to the actual history of the Vikings.
They're doing a lot of good research, though.
We will destroy this state.
But that, it just
the teeth.
I know why they're using motion capture, and it's because it might be cheaper, but like it does not look good. Like it looks really bad, and the Unreal Engine was a poor choice as well. So not particularly starting off strong there with those two decisions. The one thing that is compensating for those two bad decisions, though, is the amount of historical research and the fact that I'm also looking at the characters and I'm not seeing like arbitrary fucking like hires. There are some critical things to be, aware of, like, ooh, it just looks so uncanny and so like not real. And this is why, again, leaning into photorealism is just not a good idea. It never has been. Photorealism, no matter how you do it, it's going to look bad. It looks bad now. It's going to look bad in like 15 years, even worse. Like, its legacy is going to be an ugly game. So that doesn't do it wonders. Now, I will say, to its credit, though, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 did this as well. And it also looked uncanny as fuck when they did the motion capture stuff. All motion capture games always look bad. I haven't played a single one where the motion capture looks good. Like KCD2, it looks like everybody looks like they're fucking retarded, like they have a little bit of the downs. Here they got that same thing going on because anytime you use motion capture, it doesn't look good. It looks bad.
I think mocap is good for like if you want to see how a character would move, but for facial animations they shouldn't use it.
Yeah, facial animations look real bad. Like facial animation should be done by hand because the mouths and like the eyes are like the two areas that I know that's like the areas of most import, right? The cheeks, like it just doesn't look good. But the one thing I will say that interests me about this game is the amount of research that they're conducting. And they talk about authentic research and looking at these places, and that's good. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. So it might be a good game. It's going to be in that uncanny zone. Also, to answer your question, Stormraven, we're going to have to delay the stream. I'll update them in a second once we're done.
Not for his treachery. Even if you're not interested in turn-based tactics or strategy games, the narrative is also a big hook.
Turn-based
And,
tactics.
I hope a lot of people who is not necessarily into tactics games will also try Norse.
We're really excited about letting players experience the story.
See, the visuals don't look good. The mocap animations might be helping, but the Unreal Engine looks bad. Like the ragdolls there look really bad.
Everything's also blurry.
Well, yeah, because that's Unreal. Unreal Engine, again, really bad choice. Motion capture is overused in my opinion. Yes, you're right, it is. It's often used as a crutch when you don't have artists. Now, again, Tripwire is the guys that made Killing Floor, so maybe they're just, out of funds. But like the portraits, they should be drawn, in my opinion. Using 3D models as the portraits is just, again, a poor choice. Your game can be 3D, but your portrait should always be 2D. 3D portraits just don't look good. The only ones that kind of look okay is like Warcraft 3 or like StarCraft or whatever, because it's like a little animated FMB and it's got some personality to it.
Well, all the tactics games will also try Norse.
With the
We're really
artistic.
excited about
It's not just a
letting
snapshot.
players experience the story that we crafted for them. We just want to take them on that journey, let them live through it, play through it, experience it for themselves. And I hope you let us take you on that same journey.
Norse.
You forgot the subtitle, Oath of Blood.
Oh my
It's just called off the game on their website.
But yeah, so the Norse game looks interesting. It being made on Unreal is kind of like a big disappointment. It also received an Epic Mega Grant, so yeah, Norwegian Film Institute as well. It's titled there, and Tripwire and Arctic Hazard. The Epic Mega Grants means that they were already asking for money that they didn't have. So that's a little concerning because Epic's Mega Grants thing is like it has helped games get off the ground before, but it might not be. And it also means that there might be Chinese influences, but I don't know. I don't see any like subversive things here. Because
all of a sudden, like right as soon as you start the game, oh hello, I am from the Great China.
All Vikings were women, actually.
All Vikings were breedable women for Chinese colonization.
Why are you here? I was kicked out of China for undermining the empire.
For undermining the empire. For
My
being
communist ideals.
It is me, Mao Zedong. Hello.
I have this little red book that I'm interested in having you read.
Tripwire also, yes, has a bit of a sketchy track record, so I'd be a little bit... Their last Killing Floor game wasn't very good.
No, it was not.
So yeah. Wow, I watched that stream. Whose stream was that? I watched 100% of that. That's crazy. Oh. Why did I say I watched that? That's weird. I guess because I have the overlay on, so I can actually like see chat.
Maybe.
I don't really know how Yubnub works. That is strange though. Next up, we have his Baldur's Gate TV series. Oh god, just what we don't want. Set for HBO. Oh boy, HBO is one of those shows that can do good work sometimes, but like there's always two things HBO does: random forced nudity, and I'm not kidding, forced nudity is like a mandatory thing they do, or something like that, or forced grotesque thing that they have to have in. Because HBO's Rome was really good. HBO's Chernobyl was really good, but there was random like nudity they just had to slap in there. And it's like, man, really? That's just one of those things.
You didn't prove that's an adult game.
Like the last game Tripwire made was Maneater. The last game they made was Killing Floor like 3 or 4 or whatever. It wasn't very good. Are you telling me they are going to have a gay bear sex on HBO? Probably. They're probably going to be gay bear squicks. Yeah, I just don't care. I hate Baldur's
Bald
Gate.
Man Gaze 3 is already written like a
Reddit tier shitpost.
No, so that's
it's
true,
scripted
but it's even
D&D.
worse than that. It's basically like a Reddit fan fiction of the setting.
Yes, because it butchers the characters and the lore. But the mind
And I
flayers are
said that
just
as someone that's not
misunderstood.
even that invested in like the D&D universe.
Yeah, because everything Baldur's Gate 3 does is like mind flayers are understood. You know, everyone's understood. It's a big misunderstanding. And
But also they took control of the Mind Flayer God, which I want to remind chat is so powerful. Even like asleep, it's still able to affect reality.
Yee. Oh, okay. That's what you meant, Big Zug. That's what you meant. I misunderstood you in that case. Supports bear scene? Question mark. Yeah, probably.
There will
Bears
probably
Gate
be gay bear sex. That'll probably happen.
I am glad that the world is finally woken to the
With the
fact that
stick.
this game isn't good. This game is...
No, people still love this game.
I know, but the pretending phase is gone. Because usually there's that what we call the honeymoon period for a game that's not very good, or a game that isn't very interesting, or a game that's mid, where I was like, it's amazing, and it's like, oh yeah, here we go, we gotta listen to that for 5 years, and then after playing it, I can tell you because I beat this game, it was not very good. It was not very good. The best part of it was Act 1, and like that wasn't very good either. But it was definitely stronger than whatever the fuck happened in Act 3. Oh my god. We're just like, we gotta end this. This is gonna be some random ass shit, boys. Buckle up. Buckle. It wasn't good. Fuck. I'm not gonna fight you, Dragonclaw. I don't like woke games.
Button Gibbs.
All right, let's see. Too many people who play D&D think they are right. I think
you meant to say writers.
Yeah. True. I mean, you kind of have to. Everybody, see, here's the thing. One thing I will say. Everybody can write. All of you can write. Like I write lore. You could all do the same thing I do. Some of you might be better. Some of you might be worse. But the big thing you got to understand is that it's a skill. And if you practice that skill, you will get better at it. Simple as. There's really no and ifs or buts about it. Just like all of you can draw. Some of you are better, some of you are worse. Again, same thing. If you practice, you'll get better.
You know, my stick figures are immaculate.
It's true.
He used a big word, chat. Chatfish don't know what that means.
What is an immaculate?
AKA Gibbs doesn't know what that word means.
Interview World of Warcraft bosses on aging players. Midnight and expanding the World of Warcraft IP. Ma'am, this is a wargaming table, not a family therapy session.
Itself is poised for growth.
Ma'am,
it's
this is
a
Wendy's.
fantastic IP. It's been underutilized, and I just want to bring it to
Underutilized?
as many people as possible.
We firmly believe that our best years are ahead of us. It's game design, but it's also social design.
That verbiage I
and it's
don't like.
trying to understand and think about how we meet a new generation where they are.
Hello and welcome to the Game Business Show with me, Christopher Dring. Now, the iconic
Where's the
World
clip?
of Warcraft remains the biggest MMO in the world.
He
It's
didn't
now
grab
well
it 'cause he
over
just
20
grabbed the
years old. It's
video.
about
29 minutes.
Oh, is that what
he
it is?
said.
Thank God. I don't
Where
know
she
why.
mentions the Warcraft thing. Exactly 29.
There we go.
It is and where it's going. We want it to be approachable, and that's also part of it. You know, even with Chris Metzen, we talk about sometimes he's like, "Man, I wish we hadn't called it Warcraft. It sounds kind of intimidating." I'm like, nobody really thinks that about Warhammer. It's just it's an understood name essentially. So it's Warcraft.
Let's do that one more time.
We want it to be approachable, and that's also part of it. You know, even with Chris Metzen, we talk about sometimes he's like, "Man, I wish we hadn't called it Warcraft. It sounds kind of intimidating." I'm like, nobody really thinks that about Warhammer. It's just it's
what?
So I skimmed through this thing, and the majority of it is
Nobody should
them
have called it Star
going on
Wars.
about.
It sounds kind of intimidating.
Yeah, so skimming through this, 'cause I skimmed through it when he posted it. It's basically them explaining how WoW has such growth potential, and we're gonna really reach out to get more people involved and get that wider audience for WoW. So
Making
this
mistakes.
entire midnight thing is to try to incentivize the wider audience to play.
The player housing is mostly going to appeal to women and high-end players usually.
Dragon Class is, by the way, she's the one making all the decisions in WoW.
Yep.
What's her position?
Did you understand what he said?
Yeah, what's her position?
I think he said.
Anyone know what her job is? Lead director or something?
Something.
I would
I think she.
assume-
I think
I'm
it's
just
kind
reading-
of mentioned in the beginning.
Like, I was just reading Dragon Claw's comment. He didn't say in the comment what her
I don't
position is. If it's
care.
like CEO or whatnot.
If you don't have the answer, just say you don't have the answer.
Warcraft itself is poised for growth. It's a fantastic IP. It's been underutilized, and I just want
So
to
after watching that clip, it's not. I get what she. Okay, so nobody's making noise.
it's going.
No.
We want it to be approachable, and that's also part of it. You know, even with Chris Metzen, we talk about sometimes he's like, "Man, I wish we hadn't called it Warcraft."
So it's not her saying that. So it's actually Chris Metzen. Is Chris Metzen still there?
Looking it up.
Now, she is quoting him for a reason, by the way. Because they are talking about
It does sound like she. It does sound like she disagrees with that statement, though, because she's like, no one says that about Warhammer.
Yeah, because listen to what she says, actually. Listen to what she says.
Even with Chris Metzen, we talk about sometimes he's like, "Man, I wish we hadn't called it Warcraft. It sounds kind of intimidating." I'm like, nobody really thinks that about Warhammer. It's just it's
Yeah,
an
she's disagreeing with him.
understood name essentially. So this idea of third space in our online worlds, we couldn't even define what that means exactly, but we're working on figuring that out. We want people to come in and hang out and have birthdays, have weddings, have raids, grand adventures, play with their friends, meet new friends, like all the things that traditionally for over 20 years World of Warcraft has been good at. And at the same time, we want to take advantage of 20 years of stories that have been told and not told and start bringing it out to the world in a broader way. Like, that's my goal and vision. And I know Ian supports it. And, you know, when we do hear these impassioned cries from, you know, parents who are like, "Please, let me play this game with my kids. I just want to hang out with my kids. And I don't want to do it in other games. I want to do it in the game I love." And so that's a minor seed of the vast, you know, potential garden of, you know, people who love incredible challenges. Like, what are we going to do for them in the future? How do we roll in the community? And, you know, one of the lovely things about housing that's a reminder to us is, you know, we only kick that off in earnest in December to have people filtering into it. And just to see there's now a whole community forming around how to make stuff. That to me is the beauty of MMOs. It becomes a real community, not just in-game, but in-game and out, that supports each other. And that to me is the dream. And as much of that as we can create, loving community that likes to inform and be experts and share, that to me is online spaces in a fantasy realm that gives you an escape, gives you a place to hang out, gives you something to focus on when maybe things outside of that realm maybe not so good, or even if they're great and you want to share it with somebody. So I think, and Ian can speak to it too, that to me is, broadly speaking, every decision we make has that kind of thread in it. where are we going? How do we get to this space where everyone is welcome? You know, tying into how they play and the activities they want to do and who they want to do it with, and even who they don't want to. The whole team is excited about this idea of, we want to preserve what World of Warcraft is and what people expect. We're never going to stop doing the things we know people love. But at the same time, I think we have a bigger vision simply than an MMORPG.
I've looked it up.
Well, go ahead. What?
So the creative director of WoW is still Chris Menson.
Yep.
The executive creative director of the Warcraft universe.
Mm.
I didn't even catch what her name is.
I don't know.
But I'm trying to find her still.
I have no idea who she is. But yeah. The issue here is that this is all about the new content, and so this entire thing is only talking about specifically the new audience they're trying to garner, which we now can deduce is they want people who like player housing to play the game. I'm not sure as to the retention of people who like player housing will be there. I made my house. I'm gonna make another one. I already made 6 of them. I don't know if I want to do it again. I don't know if I want to do it. So I'm not entirely sure there. Again, they're trying to expand their player base. But yeah, the big problem here is that expanding your player base is something you need to realize that you're not going to be able to do the way you did with Wrath. The reality is you just need to maintain the game the way it was. Making a good game and a great game for the people who are already there is probably what you need to do. But not just the people who are at the late game stages, like the stuff we talked about. Again, we're kind of retreading the ground we've already talked about, so there's really nothing new this actually brought for conversation, because there's really nothing here. It's just them talking again about player housing and a focus on trying to get more people to join the game because they want the numbers of the player base to go up, because they haven't released player base numbers. We all know it's not as high as it was. It's definitely a lot lower. But we also know it's not that low because they're also making a shit ton of money. So we know it's not that bad either. Like they're raking in shit tons of money, but at the same time, they want to expand the player base because as a company, as a publicly owned thing, they need to expand the company, and this is the problem with publicly owned things. Well, they're also owned by Microsoft as well. So it's not that. Chris Metzen saying that is not too surprising, because I think, if I'm right, Chris Metzen is super kind of like detached from everything. He's also incredibly old. Let's double check. Make sure this is the right person I'm thinking of, because I'm always bad with names. Because I haven't researched him in a while.
I'm attempting to find just a list of the
Yeah, he's old.
Development team.
He was young, but damn is he old now. Oh god, he had earrings. American game designer, artist, voice actor, author, known for his work creating fictional universe and scripts for Blizzard Entertainment. 3 major award-winning franchises for Warcraft, Diablo, and StarCraft is what he wrote. Yeah, okay. So he's still in charge. Or he came back? No, he came back. Because didn't he leave? I thought he left. Executive Creative Director, Warcraft, Citizen of Earth, Greek for Life. Or Geek for Life. I was like, what? Very Greek nationalistic.
She's the executive producer, I think.
Executive producer? Okay, so she's not actually in charge.
The game director. Yeah, the game director's in that video.
That's the game director to the left with the glasses?
I can't see.
Oh, oops. I'm like looking at things. Fuck, I already closed
Memberships are going through though, which is good.
But either way. Metzen has been since the 80s? Yeah. He left and then came back. And he came back recently, didn't he? Because I'm pretty sure he was gone until recently. Is this why the storyline's actually progressing the world finally? Or is that not related? He came back after they lost the top spot during BFA. So he came back, and he was back where when they write the jailer.
Is he responsible for the jailer?
I'm just wanting to know if he's responsible for the jailer or not, because the jailer was really, really bad.
The game director's the guy on the right. I don't know who the one on the left is.
No, he's just an interviewer, I think. Well, when Metz came back, he did say that he was told they had to work as a group. So, what?
Apparently, well, yeah, apparently the entire development team unionized in 2024 for WoW.
That's right, that did happen.
They unionized? Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean for us as Chatfishes? Like, was Metzen the villain all this time? Perhaps, Chatfish, perhaps.
Maybe.
Perhaps Metzen's actually a schnancy. Like,
He did make the Warcraft movie.
He did. He did. I believe that quote was in relation to the Warcraft movie, wasn't it? He said something similar during the Warcraft movie. That he thought that the name was intimidating. When I'm thinking when I watch the Warcraft movie, the Warcraft movie isn't... It's not good. It's fun, and it's a fun movie. But if you know anything about the lore, it's not good either. It's like they're trying to change the story because he's also aged and older now. But the reality is that you have to commit what your younger self wrote. Because what your younger self wrote also matters now. The Warcraft movie was great. It was great. It just wasn't good writing. The Warcraft movie, I wish got a sequel. I wish they actually made Warcraft movies all the way to Frozen Throne. That would have been amazing.
Because the one thing you need to remember is there's a difference between like your enjoyment of a thing versus the like quality of writing in the thing. Like I love the Star Wars prequels. They're not good.
Same. They're not really good movies, but they are fun, very, very fun movies. Yeah, I feel that way.
My favorite thing is only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Only a
It's the
Chatfish deals in
unfortunate reality of like fandom, right? Where someone will enjoy something and then get really upset if you ever insult it, like the thing they attach themselves to.
Yeah, everything I like is objectively good. It's subjective, but
That's
close.
Plague. See,
everything I don't like.
The brilliant thing here with Plague is he's saying that sarcastically, like that's what we're saying, but that's what Plague actually says.
See, the big thing is while they did the Warcraft movie, because I know they wanted to do Warcraft 1, then 2, then 3, as make it like a trilogy, and then have like a quadrilogy with the fourth being Frozen Throne, because that would have been amazing. They really should have just skipped Warcraft 1 and 2 as movies. And I know that'd be unpopular, but I honestly think if they did that, then they could do the other two as prequels. You know what I mean? Make Warcraft 3, then make Frozen Throne, then make Warcraft 1, and then...
And it'd be even funnier is if they use older and older filming techniques as they go earlier in the timeline.
It just becomes like older CG.
And it becomes black and white. Silent film.
Man, that'd be better.
I don't like silent films.
Here's the thing.
I hate silent
I can appreciate them for what they created.
I don't.
It's one of those...
I hate them.
No, you have to respect it because we
I don't
wouldn't have
respect
gotten
them.
movies today without it.
I respect them in the sense that they're a stepping stone, but I do not want to go back to them. I've watched...
Kim, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not good.
Because I like to see retro things. I like to look at them. I watch them, and I'm like, nope, I don't like this. This is not good. No. I think sound was a step in the right direction.
I agree.
Black and white films are actually, I do think, have artistic merits, though. But no movies with no sound, I just find annoying. Yes, they can make an artistic movie with them, but no, I don't care. It's too artsy-fartsy for me. People shouldn't put their self-worth into fictional settings, says Ashley Garrett. I'll put you into
What if you're the person that like actually made the fictional setting then?
Yeah, actually, that's not entirely true, Garrett. I'm sorry. Like, you gotta realize...
You cry when it's bad.
Yeah, because if you put your actual set... Like, for example, I put my worth, technically an investment, into the setting I'm making, right? Ergo, I have put effort and soul into that thing. And if that effort and soul isn't received well, then it isn't. Also, people shouldn't put worth into a fictional setting. People should put value into a fictional setting, in my opinion. I think the mentality of people shouldn't put worth into a setting is actually the reason why we're in the situation we're in now. Well, what does it matter? It's make-believe. I can change the story if I want to. Who cares if they're trans now? Like, what does it matter? What does it matter if I just add some black characters? What does it matter? It's not real. Don't put stock in things. Don't put value in things. Things don't matter. Nothing matters. Buy my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's that mentality, and that's just how I feel about it. I disagree with you there on Garrett. I get what you're saying, but I disagree with it on a philosophical level. because I think we should put stock in things. I think people should care. Because as a writer, when I write lore, I don't, how do I put it? When I write lore and I write characters like Celeste or Far or Everine and these people, right? I know they're fictitious. I know they're not real. If push came to shove, I would prioritize Rifford's life far above these fictitious characters because they're not real. They're text I made up. They have artwork of them, right? I made it up. It's not real. I made it up. It's fake. You know. But at the same time, when I write them, when I work on them, when I do work on them, and I hope Chris Metzen feels this way as well. I hope other writers feel this way as well. I hope it's not just me. But I think we as writers must care about them. We should care about them. I have to do things to my characters that I don't like doing. I have to hurt them, and it makes me sad, but I have to do it. But you also have to detach yourself a little bit. Like, it's a fictitious thing. It's, for the benefit of the story. It's going to make the story better. And so I do hard things that I don't want to do to characters I like because it's the right thing to do. Like, if I like a character, because there are characters I like in our setting, but I'm like, I like this character. It's a shame they, don't make it. It's a shame they don't. Because you got to kill your darlings. You got to let the story flow naturally with the ebb and flow. It's okay to love things, but you must not let your love for something blind you. But you have to take it seriously because the world itself should be written seriously. Her aspirations, her wants, his desires, they all matter because they're real. They are real in a sense. Yeah, they're not real in the sense of like flesh and blood, but their stories are. And so by making their stories as real as possible, we write better characters. We write better worlds. And we should be building better worlds together, right? Hans just sitting over there like squinting at me as I'm quoting things. Build better worlds. I think I killed Hans with that one. You don't like my Weyland-Yutani reference.
Oh, we're Weyland-Yutani now?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. I'm just like layering it on real thick.
I like aliens. Do you think I remember all
You
their
didn't remember that?
slogans?
Fuck. Oh, damn. I do. But yeah, because I put stock into things. I care about things. And God forbid I care, God forbid I care.
How dare you care?
And I think we should put stock in things. Now, obviously, if Chris Metzen doesn't give a shit about Warcraft, and he writes Thrall as a flamboyant homosexual all of a sudden, and he's got pink hair, then obviously he doesn't care anymore.
A weird heel turn there, but
I'm just using it as an example, right? It's like a complete 180 from what he was character and personified as. He's now completely flip-flopped. And so by doing that, he doesn't care anymore, right? If you care about something, and as a writer, you should care. And as a reader, you should care. Because you should also be invested too. If you're not invested and you don't care what happens to the characters I write, then what was the point? What was the point of any of it, right? You will care. And if you don't care, it's because you choose not to, right? That's what it should be. It's like, oh, I'm not interested in the story. Okay, more than fair. But if it boils down to, I don't care, so why isn't this character got pink hair and gay? Why isn't all the characters gay? Where are the diversity hires? Where are these things? Where are the DEI? Then we don't care anymore. That's my issue. And that's why we need to care about things. Because if we don't, then it's okay to say whatever you want. It's okay to, well, why isn't there femme stodies? Why isn't there female space marines? There are female space marines because you don't care. You don't care? There's female space marines. Also, Neoth is gay now. And Empress Urda killed Neoth, and it's actually an empress on the throne. And the great lie is that the skeleton is actually a female skeleton, and you've all been believing a lie about a misogynistic man who took the imperial throne. It's actually been Urda the whole time. She's on the throne, the golden throne. It's her sacrifice, her story. And that bigot, evil Neoth has been dead for eons, and he was a loser and didn't do anything, and he was just a misogynistic pig.
You know,
see what I mean? See how
I'm starting to think Chaos is a
corrupted it?
point we should unplug the Golden Throne.
See how I corrupted it and twisted it with just that? You you start to bend and warp things to the way you want it to be,
That said, don't forget, a lot of the writers for that setting are unironic, like Chaos fans, so they want Chaos to have a point.
I know, but it's not about those writers. I don't care about them. I'm talking about the philosophical standpoint of why we should care, and the meta point, if you will.
Chat. Please stop triggering Kib's autism.
Yeah, remember when he said he was going to go to the store?
Yeah.
Chumpa
I members.
Chumpa's pizza. Chumpa pizza.
I don't think
But
Kib's
don't
just...
worry, India told me he's putting that to the bottom of his queue.
Little racist. He'd better be putting it to the top after all the hard work I do. I care. So Erda is the reason we have horrible government for the Imperium. See, that's a good.
Correct.
That's a good adjustment because now you can just blame her for all the problems.
So Erda's the reason why.
So the
they
second Erda
fucking-
took over, everything went to shit? Curious.
I want to point out that she's unironically the reason why
Yes.
half the sons died.
Also,
Yes.
and on that note, Ashley Garrett says, fair point, you should care, but not to the extent that it becomes self-consuming to the point it becomes your entire personality. Absolutely. I think you're absolutely spot on there. I agree with you. Because, yeah, World of Warcraft isn't my personality. I like World of Warcraft, and I like what World of Warcraft used to be, and I don't really care for it as much as it is now in its current state. In fact, I have a little less interest. I miss the years of yesteryear, so to speak, of what it was, right? And I like
you miss the people.
Yeah, and I like, well, not just, no, I also miss the game. It's not just the people. I mean, to be real with you, like, some of them were my friends, but some of them were kind of like assholes, so 50-50. 50-50. But
Kibs wants to return WoW to you, the Chatfish.
The Chatfish. I like Sims of Empire. I like, Hearts of Iron. I like Helldivers. I like fucking Halo. I love Star Wars. I like Warhammer. I love these things. But yeah, those things they don't define me. They're a part of who I am, part of my interests, but they're not who I am. And you're right in that sense because there are people who have nothing and they just become these things and they like, I am the queen of this setting, and I am like all the things, and I represent the Concordat of the Taurians from the Battletech, and this is my personality, and that is it. I have one identity, one motif, and this franchise has become that motif. My lack of character will be subsidized by a setting and a fictitious character.
I'm quite amused by House Liao stands.
Honestly, yeah. Oh my god. But yeah.
We are a major power.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's a big thing. They just don't like cake, alright? That's just the problem. Alright, so they just... Weddings are not their favorite. Weddings are not... Ooh, cake. What do you mean you're declaring war else? What do you mean you're declaring war? Warcraft 3 CK2 win. Hope somebody funds that. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, like, the big thing is, remember when a setting turns sour. Remember this, all of you. If it turns sour, don't be too glum about it. Be upset, rightfully so, but don't let it make you depressed. Don't let it make you sad, because you are way better than that, and I want you to be not miserable. I want you to instead think about this way. We have old school World of Warcraft stuff. We have Turtle WoW, and we'll always have some sort of substitute thing. We have Warcraft 3 as alternatives. And even if we don't have those, we have other settings beyond that, right? Even that. We have other things beyond that as well. We have like StarCraft, and beyond the entirety of their IPs, we have Warhammer. Beyond Warhammer's problems, we have Battletech. Beyond Battletech, we have Dune. Beyond those, we have those other places. We have Lord of the Rings. Yes, we don't have all the current age things because they're not made for anyone who exists on this earth, but we do have good media. And so choose, be selective in your choice. Choose what media you enjoy. Be like, I like Lord of the Rings. I don't like Rings of Power. I like Dawn of War. I don't like, modern 40K. I like, fucking StarCraft, but I'm not a big fan of StarCraft 2's ending, stuff like that. Like, you can still like these things. They cannot take that from you because you have these things. I have physical items of these things. Not only do we have physical items and physical property of these things and copies of these things, and even though they've tried to take that away from us, make everything digital, we still have physical and digital copies of these things. People have backed it up. This is the case in which I will actually salute the pirate fishies out there, where they've actually uploaded stuff that have been abandonware and have preserved it. Warcraft 3, before the Reforged patch, I actually was able to find it via a abandonware version of it. Now, Reforged nowadays is actually playable, but if you still want to play the pre-Reforged thing, you still can. And thanks to digital archivists, which is what we'll call them because it's what they're doing at this point, they've archived this knowledge. And we can always have these things. Anytime there's a new piece of good media, it merely gets added to the pile of good media. If it's bad, it just gets thrown into the trash heap with the rest. The good pile only grows, right? A great example of that this year for me, personally, Menace was a new game that came out, and I really like it. It got added to the good pile. It is now one more good game on my good game pile. My good game pile is so high that if I tried to play through them all, it would probably take me half a year to get through them. And with each good game, it gets longer and longer and longer. And eventually, I will die. And that good game list will pass on to the next person. And that way, they won't have to worry about sifting through all the trash. Because we'll have done it for them. Check, wow. It's why it's important that we help sift through so that everything, because there's so many pieces of media made, that we elevate the good and we, point out the stinkers. Like, that one's a stinker right there, not good. And we say why? Because we don't want to erase it. It's important that people go and discover it and figure out what was bad about it, because it was part of history. We live in history right now, chat. We live in interesting times. Games industry is shifting, right? Both good and bad. And we've witnessed a great change, a very bad change, but we've also witnessed a golden age. We saw the very first golden age, or the very newest golden age, which was the age of the indie, which is still ongoing. We also saw the twilight years of the AAA and second A's or double A's, where, things turned sour in the 2010s and plus, right? Where things became stale after the early 2000s. Because the early 2000s was another golden age. Oh my God. Very good. And then the 90s. The late 90s and mid 90s were a golden age. But before then, when I looked at some of those games, some of them look a little bit like there was a dark age there. And so what I'm starting to notice is that the 80s gaming was kind of a dark age. The 90s was kind of a golden age. The early 2000s was kind of riding on the coattails of that golden age. It was kind of walking down because it wasn't as high as the 90s. But as it walking down, it walked into the twilight years of the 10s, right? Now in the 2020s, we have an indie golden age. So it's like, okay, what the trend is now we're going to have a golden age for a bit. We're going to have a sunset period. It's going to be sad again. And then things are going to get better again. And we're going to keep going down this merry-go-round forever. The real thing is just to remember the good pieces of media and put them in the good pile from each of these eras. Because eventually, there'll be so many good items that no matter how many bad eras there are, it will be almost like you'll have to uncover a treasure trove of new items. We must be thinking of the future generations. I don't know why I went on a generational tangent about preserving media for the future, but, it is important to think of them because they're coming behind us, And we have to think about the generation coming after us because they're just as important. We need to care about them. We must make sure we prepare media for them that will be good and delicious. So we must do our best to make sure that our generation gives them something to remember positively. Not like the 2010s generation. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. They fucked up hard there. We can do better, chat. And we will do better. But yeah, I think that wraps up my philosophical standpoint on that. I know it was a bit random. But
Thanks for coming to his Kib Talk.
Chat's like, wow, this is such a
A
positive
little bit about
reason.
Battletech just reminded me of the Merrick meme.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know why my mind goes on weird tangents. I think it's ADHD. I think it is.
It's because of the
I know
because of
it's
the circles.
It's because of the.
I know it's because of your ADHD.
Like, I'm 90% certain. Because I get energized about a subject, and I'm like, oh, but that reminds me of another interesting subject, and I'm like, let's ride into that subject too.
Gibbs's mind is a bundle of wires.
Bundle.
So remember, Chad, if anyone else does that, it's wrong and bad to do so.
On the bright side, there's no shortage of topics when it comes to me, so that's the bright side. But yeah, so I think that wraps up succinctly everything about this. I mean, all in all, some good things. I'm a little bit hesitant about the Midnight World of Warcraft thing. I'm expecting it to be kind of bad, to be honest. I honestly expect it to be like War Within. War Within, for those that remember it, it was okay. It was fun, but it was bad narratively. Like, we had fun playing it, didn't we, Squealy? But those don't.
I had to go let my dogs on. Which game?
He's asking if you enjoyed playing what?
Did you have fun playing War Within?
War Within, it was a lot of fun, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It's just the
It's
story
just every
sucked.
time we had a cutscene, every time there was a cutscene, like, Anduin, you're still a cock.
Oh my god. Yeah, the experience was fun, but the story was not. In fact, if you could just cut out all the cutscenes and dialogue, I think it would actually be more fun.
It was like the new Dune movies. Just cut out Zendaya and it's good.
Yeah, just cut out anxiety. It drastically improves.
Just include the parts where Thrall is going, ooh.
Ooh.
Orc.
Like, he's just in the background working.
Odd thing to add. It's an odd thing to add to the Dune franchise, but trust me, it'll work.
I enjoy retail. That's universally from people who play retail still. I talk to them, and that's all they say. They have a lot of fun with the game, and people still like WoW, but they hate the story. So the big problem is realistically, they need to fire the writers. You need to fire the writers, or you need to literally, like, listen to what people are saying about your story. It sucks. Fix it. Stop making it ass. Make something compelling happen. Don't be gay. Like, it's hard, I know. It's very hard. It's impossible. Honestly, challenge impossible is what I just asked for, but yeah, there you go.
Challenge impossible.
But yeah, if you like the stream, be sure to drop a like. Just throw support to your local kib. If you don't like the stream, you don't have to. Then you can just not leave a like, and I'll be sad about it. But I'll get over it. And then I'll do the same thing in the next stream as well, and I'll get over it too over there, and the stream after that. My God, everything's just cyclical. All right, so let's see. We will see you in the next stream. The next stream will be starting in approximately 30 minutes, is what I'm going to say. Actually, wait, I got to update. Maybe it's a good update.
It'll be starting when it starts.
Okay. We're going to set it for 30 minutes from this point, just as a safety net. So 30 minutes will be starting. Hopefully, they'll be here. So I'll see you in 30 minutes, Chatfish. Be good, behave, and see you in the next stream.
Have a good one.